Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching in the world. It is Saturday, February 10th, and it is a beautiful day for some football and hopefully, a bit of a return to form. The lineup is up. I'm going to focus on it here in a moment, and so let's bring that up. If you haven't been here before, I follows where we're going to be watching. We're a little bit early. I need to fix my hair up early to start this one. And I guess for everybody, thanks for joining in and signing up a little bit early as we talk about it. I threw a poll up there. I can see you guys are clicking about on it. Somebody, whether that's giving the new guys a start or Max being in net, looks like they're in the lead as far as it sits right now. But that's what's just some of the thoughts. If I missed one of the options and you're like, where the heck is whoever, then by all means, throw it out there. Hope Brendan's back to clean up that flop counter. And it's a beautiful day for some football. I'm just stoked to get into this one, but two struggling teams. Bradford, one of the few that haven't won a single game all year long. That one was surprising to me, A to Z. I clicked the wrong spot to bring it up there. Fletcher getting the start, but I guess if you're looking for goals, you got to go to the people who you trust are going to score them, and he's had them. And the out-of-town scoreboard, I'm hoping loads up eventually. It's an internal problem, and it works every day the day before, and then it conks out. So I don't know if they've got a bandwidth thing, and there's too many people doing this in the afternoons, and that might be the sign that I need to transition out. But as Kim's identifying, Knots is struggling and played yesterday, lost 3-1 to Gillingham. Gillingham moves into 7th place on the table, and so that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I'm going to I don't want to have to do the whole refresh thing. I'm hoping that it just pops through because we did that last time, but it is a bit of a problem. I don't know what the deal is with Palmer, and I would have thought, to be completely fair, that if Dalby was given Dalby's performance last game, and given Palmer and the conversations he was having with Parkey before the game, if you saw the photos, I would have thought that Palmer would have been maybe not the starter, but at least on the bench. Brendan says he likes it. And I'm curious if he's able to get there and load up, because it's surprising to me the same thing. Brendan, your flop counters worked and nothing else is loaded up. So I don't quite get what the deal is with the scoreboard. But I can go through and hit the refresh button and hope that it goes through while we're dealing with it. As to the chickens, the Bradford City chickens, I'm going to be honest. At the start of the season, it was Bradford City who were the lippiest, the loudest, had the most banter, or whatever you want to call it. And so they don't get a lot of love from me. Sitting in 18th position, they're obviously having a tough season. Colin, I think that would be Marriott or Bolton are the two. I think I would have considered Marriott over Fletcher. Just Fletcher to me comes in as a super sub. His legs, his injury, he's prone to injury. I would have looked at that as being the option. I guess I'm not Parkey, and he has faith in his guys. There is a message to be sent, right? In the sense that that it appears he's got faith in the lads, and so I'm all for that. The guys can then step up and show up and do their thing, and if they do step up and show up, then he looks like a genius. It's going to be an interesting one. I'll bring up the stats momentarily. I'm just going to try and blast through here and see if hitting the refresh button, because I see that it's working for some of them. And so I would like to get that feature going, because W&G enjoys doing it, and I enjoy that W&G does it, and would like to have that feature for everybody else to be able to follow along as we go through the out-of-town scoreboard, which has a couple of interesting ones. Obviously, the Stockport Grimsby one going to be the most important one, but when you look at the table generally, it is an important game, because if we get some help, well, we don't even need help elsewhere, but if we're able to take the win, then we're still lined up for second place, with as long as we take our games in hand. It's nice to be largely in control of your own destiny, although a lot of people are taking shots that Wrexham finished in 4th, or not finished in 4th, but is presently in 4th. So, yeah, and that's exactly it. Welcome back, Francis. Missed you last weekend, but that's what it is faith that Fletcher and the boys can get the start and then swoop in early, and it's definitely there. Would I have done things differently? Yes. To me, the biggest egregious leave out is Max. I think he deserves a spot over EOC. But then I think everybody knows I'm not a massive Ewan O'Connell fan. So it's not that I don't like the guy. It's not that I don't wish him well. I think that there are better options on the squad than he is. And it's an unreasonable amount of faith provided to him. But I'm looking forward to him proving me wrong. As I just blasted the wrong thing. Trying to load up all of these. I hit the wrong thing, and I apologize for that. We'll try and get the right one, and hopefully that solves that problem. We will see what ends up happening. I do want to bring up the statistics. So let's do that and bring in the compare statistics. Whoa, as I just get blasted in the air as the feed goes live. Give me 1 second. Nice to be back in the racecourse. Holy cow. I'm going to bring this one over and just have a chat with you guys about this. This is the season statistic comparison between the two squads. And there's really the two stats that are interesting to me in preparing for this game. Is the very first one, the shots on 90 per target, is we're second in the league. And typically that's an area where we've led. Last game, we didn't have a lot of shots. And so we've gone down into second there. But more importantly, they're a mid-table team. But where it's interesting is shots per 90 on target against. We're not doing well there. We do allow a lot of shots against us. So you can see we're in 6th overall in the league. But we do not let a lot of shots against per 90. We're 6th in the league. That's positive. But the Bradford City Chickens doing a remarkable job. 3.07. You contrast that with the save percentage. They've got a horrible save percentage, one of the worst in the league, 59.3%, good for 23rd. But they don't allow a lot of shots. So you have a team that has a lot of shots against a team that doesn't have a lot of shots. It's going to be interesting to see what ends up transpiring there, and who gets the advantage, because that's part of what our especially at home, what our calling card sort of is putting teams under pressure with lots of shots and eventually breaking through. Are we going to get that opportunity here? Are they going to win the day with their shots? The other stat that unfortunately kind of have to look at is the accurate long balls per match. 30, that's good for 9th, 31.2, that's good for 6th. You can anticipate that this is going to be a game with a lot of long balls, not something that we want. So Francis says, looking at the leaderboard we have with games in hand that can be misleading on an equal basis. We were top of the leaderboard after 26 matches. This match 29 will be second if we win, third if we draw. And yes, I agree with you. We have slipped down from the ability to maintain our position in the championship race. That's a lost leader now. But we still have control with respect to the promotion spot. So it is an important game. We got to put the wheels back on. And that's where I'm at with that. So I'm really hoping we're able to do that tonight as we wait for Mr. Griffiths to log in here. The other big announcement, well, there was a couple over the week, but the one that really shocked me was the Welcome to Wrexham starting April 18th on Hulu in the US. I suspect that means it'll be a day late in Canada and Australia, New Zealand, UK, and elsewhere. And also surprised that, and maybe this is why France is not on my list of countries, still waiting on season 2. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Andrew, obviously away. Brendan giving him the shout, and so that's going to be exciting. Got a last-minute ticket, and so Andrew, I'm hoping you enjoy it. We will miss you here, but we don't expect you to hang around with us as we enjoy this one. Feel free, if you got a video or two, send them. I've got my phone right next to me. Hopefully, I'm aware of it, and maybe at the half it'd be nice to have a look. And that's my take. Yes, there are others who disagree, who want that trophy. Championship race means nothing. Promotion is all that matters. I am 100% on board with that. I like to have control over all of our, over everything if we can. And that's the message of the story. I don't know this game, if you're going to talk predictions, and maybe we could put predictions out there. a lot of people calling for 1-0 scores one way or the other. And it could certainly be that. You have a team that takes a lot of shots versus a team that doesn't allow a lot of shots. You've got a team that's struggling offensively in Bradford City. You've got us who, to be fair, we've sort of been struggling offensively recently. But if we're due for a breakout, this could potentially be the one if we're able to put some pressure on. I just want to see some play through the middle. I want to see a win. That's most important. But I would like to see a push through the middle. So let's get into it and see where we're at as the players are out on the kickabout. The other interesting thing is, for the first time all season, there were tickets available after the initial sell-off, and not just the international, a couple dozen international ones. There were some on the top left if you're sitting, top right if you're looking at it, new cop or old cop or temporary cop. But there were actually lots of resales that weren't getting snapped up. And so it looked like that was possible to be able to grab tickets, which benefited Andrew in this one. Yeah, and Kim, I don't know if it's as much a return to form for him, because he's been making the saves. To me, he just got beat by a couple of worldies in the last two games. That Olympico from the corner. The only goal I really fault him for, Blackburn and Salford, was the first one where he had that corner and had the chance to go and get it, and I still don't know what happened and why he pulled his arms down. But it found the back of the net. And that could definitely be it. Although rugby union taking over football is not okay. Hey, W&G, you can see I got the same problems as the load issues. We can push through and you can feel free to load them up, and they seem to be popping up eventually. I'm going to have to look for another option, I think. I just don't know what else is out there unless we do it direct manually for the out-of-town scoreboard. Which could be a challenge, but that's probably the stretch. Is if Fletcher stays healthy through the 90 minutes, this is brilliant. But if he doesn't, then I don't know. I like him as a super sub coming in late, whether that's Palmer up front, whether that's Marriott running with Mullen. I don't care. And I've got an extra browser up. I'm trying to do more polls today than normal. My stats are running that I'm running pixelated and rendering low. So if it is too much, I'll have to shut it down just for the sake of operating this. But you'll let me know if I get pixelated, because I am a bit on my screen. I am going to have to do a graphic card update, because then I don't have to worry about it and I can add more bells and whistles. 100%, Kim, 60 to 70 minutes. I wish I had more to look at this. For Brendan, you get your favorite striker in the league to watch, to hate against, who's starting up there with Cookie getting his go. There have been a number of games where he's sat out in favor of Young at 28. Their last game struggled to score. So, yeah, and that was the game that I put up there so that hopefully you could catch W&G, was that Luton game against Sheffield United, as the extra non-League 2 game that hits the out-of-town scoreboard. And so we'll see if we get there. I was also taking a shot because I'm not a rugby union guy. I'm a league guy. I don't get the kicking game that union fans do. That's a different topic for another day. And I'm in the minority. I get it, both in England and certainly in Canada, but I think the Aussies got it right. I wasn't going to say hate. Those are some strong words, but definitely there. It's interesting. He was benched, and because he's been struggling, but he did get his. He's going to get a shot today, and we'll see what ends up happening with him. They're struggling to score. They're struggling to get shots. We're struggling to score, not necessarily struggling to get shots, but man, can we just play through the midfield? I don't know if I see that, I feel like we're going to be in good stead early. Do we expect a change, though? I guess that should be its own next poll. Do we expect a change? And I'm not so sure that I do. I do want to bring up more polls as we go through the game, so we'll do that. Let me know if you guys have anything else that your thoughts are. Kim saying she'd want the 60 to 70 quality minutes from Fletcher, and that's where I'm at. I just don't know if he's going to have it in him. One thing I will say, I've got the members list down on the bottom corner there. You can see ticking through. Much thanks and appreciation to all of those who've signed up, and especially to Dylan, who ended up purchasing 10 or 11 of them in the last match, one for him and 10 for everybody else. So everybody getting to take an advantage of the AI generated emoticons. Still have options if there are ones that you guys want out there that you can think of. Happy to create new ones. Just I'm not as creative enough to come up with what those should be. Dave with the comment that O'Connell in defense should help. I think he's better than Tunney. Tunney didn't show me anything, but at the same time, I don't rank EOC anywhere close to where Max is. But you are right. As far as him on Cookie, maybe he will be that guy today. And so we will see where it's going. I would like to see a lot of shots build up through the middle. If we can get our shots on early and often, I guess that's always a recipe for success, but against a team that allows the least amount of shots in 90 minutes, that's going to be a big part of the success is getting in and getting opportunities. Because at 60% save percentage, 59.3, there's goals to be had if we're able to get there and put on the pressure. We'll see what Bradford City does. I don't recall them pressing in the last match, and you guys will have to do that. Red dragon emojis, that's a good one. They are going to be very cartoony, but I like the idea of them. Red dragon. In other news, Wales got its draw for the Nations League in the B club as a consequence of the relegation, along with England in the last one. So that's good. I know that the Iceland game is probably the difficult one, although Turkey's never to be slept on. So that's interesting on that end. International stuff, I'm waiting for the March game, Canada versus Trinidad, because if Canada is able to win that one, then we're going to end up having Messi in the new Gold Cup that involves all of the teams of South America taking on the top in the Central American one. So that'll be fun to watch over the summertime. As for what's going on with Wrexham, I digress a little bit further. I'm just trying to think of what other polls I can put out there. But that one seems to be ticking. Palmer somewhere on the bench. You know what? This is a fairly equal split, other than the goalkeeper. The other three certainly up there. Ian Poole up the town, indeed. Santiago, this is part of the message is, we haven't won decisively at home except for one game, right? It's always been a bit of a mess and a bit of a comeback or a bit of a struggle and finding the way. That's always desired. We need the home record to continue. Somebody suggested, with our away form, if we lost our home form, we're going to be struggling. And I went, oh God, don't throw that into the universe. We don't need to hear about it. I pulled out the lucky shirt today. I was like, enough's enough. I'm going to need to end up pulling that. Oh, who isn't? 110 million eyes. Although I did hear a rumor that it may not be on it may be on the Paramount sidecast, not on the actual free to air broadcast. But you're forking out the money for Sir Anthony to do his thing. And there was another video that came out just a couple of days ago where they talked about, in a podcast, the process of creating that commercial and talking about it was basically just one take after one take after one take after one take. And that's awesome. There's some truth to that mumbling. To me, Palmer isn't a player who you should be expecting to fill the net when he's up there. He's a player who, if we're going to be playing the high ball and we're going to be not pushing through our midfield, he's who I want up there to be able to track that down and be able to find service or overlap with the wings to push the ball forward. When he's not there, I think we lack. Can Fletcher do that? Sure. But Fletcher to me is more of a skill guy. If you're building up through the middle, he's going to find that turn. So that cheeky pullback, the fill the gaps and go after the ball. So to me, it's a style difference that you want to play depending on who your personnel is. And Fletcher, if on and playing the style I think he's best at, I prefer that and think it's better for us. But if we're going to be doing hoofball all the time, I'm okay with putting Palmer in. I don't know if that makes sense or if you agree with me, but that's just kind of where I said about there. It's not. Oh, is it called the America's Cup? Might be the America's Cup. They've changed the name of it. It used to be CONCACAF only, and now they've decided to add the South American squads, whatever it is. And they've done the draw for it. And I know that Argentina's in the same pool as the winner of Canada, Trinidad, Tobago, who embarrassingly we have to end up playing because of our performance in the last window and the fact that the club has infighting with their sports governance body. But that's a different topic. Just charge the net like a bull, right? That's how he gets all of his headers. Man, I don't know if this is going to work with the polls coming up like this. It seems to be backed up quite bad, but I'm going to see what I can do to improve my performance, but I may have to. I don't even know what that is. Oh, egg chasing the football. I was like, and so is the rugby game over? I don't even know. I'm assuming it's Six Nations. Is it something else? I'm not a Union fan, so you guys will have to let me know what was out there. I don't know if I'm going to be watching the Super Bowl. I tend to, when my team's not in it, I tend to not play. But then the other thing is, my wife's away today and tomorrow night with a stagette or a hen do or whatever you want to call it. And so, hey, Hugh, how are you? And so I'm going to be with the kids for most of the day, just trying to get through and trying to survive, and hopefully the exhaustion that's been coming with the appendicitis, not the pain, but the exhaustion ends up clearing up a little bit. That's the fear. That's the fear. Oh, Santiago, if you haven't seen it, go to Twitter, and you do that before the game starts, and you'll be in for a surprise. Just search Wrexham and put in, I don't know, Hopkins or Super Bowl ad, and you'll see it. It is an absolute classic. And I'm all for it. So got to start with, I won't even take an unbeaten run. We need a win. We need 3. Anything less than 3 to me today will be frustrating. If you listen to, again, Racecourse Ramblings has been doing a remarkable job of putting videos out at the moment and has the time. I wish I had the time. And he brought in a podcaster. Now, some criticism as to the podcaster. When you have somebody who, he thought there were 9 games left and didn't seem to have all of the information off the top of mind, but still a fan who puts out content from the Chickens. Matt was interviewing him, and they were talking about how frustrating their season has been, sitting in 18th. Now they're secure. They're not going to have to worry about relegation. The wheels would have to completely fall off, like straight losses all the way through. But there's not a lot of optimism in Bradford. And I know I'm supposed to say Bradford City, but I almost say it to spite some of the Bradford fans. Not a lot of happiness and joy in the Bradford community. So good morning, Sharon. Welcome. 4 miles northwest of Wrexham. Hopefully you can hear some shouts from the racecourse 4 miles away. That's how good we want this game to be. Knott's already played, Swirly. If you missed it, Knott's lost yesterday. They played yesterday evening. I don't know why they played yesterday, but they played yesterday to Gillingham. The Knott's fans all on there. It comes out after you lose any matches, worst performance of the year. But that was sort of the message that was out there and provided. And so we'll see what ends up happening. Ooh, Steven with the 2-2 tie. 2-2 tie. I'm gonna go with a 2-0 Wrexham win. Wow, Brendan's going 4-1. You know what? Let's end the poll and let's. I can't put all of the score options, but let's end this poll. Palmer somewhere on the bench, just barely eking that one out. Give the new guys a start at 30%. Cleworth and then Howard with 15%, 26 votes. Let's bring up the poll on this one and let's say score predictions are. And let's just do a blowout win, a tight win, or a close win, a draw, and a loss. And I'll let you guys have your say just generally there. I think a blowout, I don't know, 2-0 to me. Is that a blowout? Maybe not, but I think that's would be I'm eking towards this being one where we assert ourselves. The guys have to be pissed after the last performance, and you'd expect them to come out with some fire and brimstone. We'll see where we're at. 4-0 score, 3-1 score. You'd like to think so, right? I think that we've got a run of games here, 6 and we go Tuesday, Saturday for the next 3 weeks. So you're going to have to give some guys some spells. It'll be interesting to see. I would have thought if you go out and you get a nice new shiny toy, that you show off that nice new shiny toy in front of the home fans. But maybe Parky looking to protect. Tozer leading them out. Hayden pulling. He looks like he's got the Hosanna haircut. Hosanna obviously being released by mutual consent. I will say also, even though the window's closed, we're only at 21 players. I don't know whether that's Ford going to come back from injury when he comes back, get slotted in, or whether they're still looking to put somebody in the back line. But there's still some center backs and stuff in the MLS. It'd be nice to go and figure them out. Yeah, I don't like the clump together. They did spread the Crawley one out. I would have taken either the FJR or the MK Dons replay and bumped that one back a little bit. But hey, they've got needs too. Maybe they couldn't have been done. We will know where we sit by the end of February because we're going to be blasting through our games in hand and getting caught up in a bloody quick hurry. Mr. Griffiths in the ears, Saturday morning, coffee in hand. Is there anywhere better to be, I guess, other than being at the racecourse? Is taking in a Wrexham match? Wherever you are. So it'll be interesting to see. All those subs could come in at any point in time, and maybe do we call for Parky to bring them in earlier? I guess it depends on the performance, right? Dale James saying 3-1s, 4-1. So there's lots of people looking for that. This is a game that they've earmarked as a big turnaround, not just we sneak it past and can be positive with 3 points, but a big turnaround. So let's see where we go. Yes, a minute of applause for this one to deal with, to address all of the supporters who have lost for Wrexham. It's the memory game. So all of the Wrexham supporters who have been lost, their family and friends were requested to identify who they were, who passed over the year, and they will give them a moment with a 1 minute round of applause in this one. So. And we get back into it. Hugh, it's interesting to me you talk about Jordan Davis. I don't think there's a player on the team who's more bipolar and divergent between fans' expectations, because the people who like Jordy want him in, think he's better than Cannon, put him at the top of the list. And then there's the other camp who end up having him at the bottom of the list and question whether he's even supposed to be part of the team. It's an interesting discussion. Feel free to let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on that one. But not where he should sit, but as to why he's as polarizing, it seems to be. Bradford rocking the all black jerseys. We're in our traditional home red. We're going to be going towards the tech end from left to right. The chickens towards the new cop. Get the scoreboard going. Friendly reminders, we get started. If you haven't been here before, feel free to scroll us back so that you match with the broadcast wherever you're watching, however you're listening. Don't want spoilers, please. Thank you. It takes some time for the game to come to me and go back out into the internet and get to you. And so this is where I'm at, is as we're going from right to left on the screen. And where am I all lined up? I am. I'll add bump one more second onto the ticker and away we go. A little bit of a fight in the midfield and some possession and control, and we can dispossess, and I like that. Then what's the end result? A long thump down the field, and Bradford takes control. So early, nice to see some control in the midfield. Looks like O'Connell. So we've had the first pass go out to the left. We've had the O'Connell pass header go out to the left. And Mark's talking about that, disappointed that kept pumping it down the center of the pitch. On the floor, and mix it up. And they're talking about it already. And here we go, looking to build. Ewan takes it back to Ogonko, and I am okay with. And he doesn't thump it down. He puts it towards the middle of the field, but it's turned over, and we got trouble behind you. Whoa. Hayden taking that one off. Was he that confident it was going to be offside? Play to the whistle if you were. Yikes. A little dance, a little shimmy, but a little ball control. I will take some ball control as he gets up to the corner flag. And the long ball worked there. Tried to get to Mullen. He missed it, but it banged off of them and it went out. Lots of win in Wrexham today, so something to take into account. That's important. Good eyes, Santiago's. We're going to find out whether it is maybe we're forced to stay to ground. But right now, the possession stats certainly in our favor as League ends up getting it nicked from, and here they come and counter. Cook gets it stolen from. McLean flicks it out. Lee, nice little back pass over to McLean. Can he get the cross in? There it is. It's dangerous. Defended well. Thrown in. Lee goes to take it. Tozer says, pause. That's good. That's good. We will take that. That's positive. That wasn't a back heel. What do you call that? Like that was a thump. That was a back thump. He swung the leg and pushed that in a brilliant position considering it came off the back of his heel. And here comes the Tozer throw. Probably only going to be near post only from that distance. Near post. It's dangerous. It gets up and it headed away. It's still there. Tozer. McLean cross. Too flat, too low. Only person there was a defender, gets headed away. Let's just keep this going. Like, this is what I was hoping for, was get lots of chances, lots of bend and break them, right? Because there are goals here to be found with this keeper. Loving it. Evans gets it on up forward. Fletcher dances over and gets it over to Barnett wide. Cannon says, you can give it to me ahead. And Barnett says, why do that? I can cross it. It's right there. Oh, danger. Love it. Keep that pressure. Nick that ball again. Trying to counter. Not able to do it. Whew. Breathe. Morecambe already up 1-0. The Wrexham fans are into it as Bradford gets control. There it is. Nobody chatted. There was not a text that went through on the chat. Everybody was quiet. Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. That was more excitement that happened in this first 5 minutes than happened in 3 minutes than happened in the entirety of the last one. Miss hit by Okonkwo, and we give up possession. The one part of Okonkwo's game that I'm not a fan of is his playing of the ball. He does still struggle. Beaten in the air, O'Connell is, and it turns down 4 players forward, and we've only got 3 back. A little bit lackadaisical getting back, but Tozer is able to rescue it and kick it out. I'm all good for being up, but let's just make sure we don't forget about our defensive responsibilities there. It just looked a little bit lazy coming back. Chapman tries to get it through. It's into the corner flag, and he beats O'Connell around the corner, but rescued, and it's going to go to a... McLean got in there with the tackle, and it's going to go for was that a throw or a corner? Even better done. I thought that had to go out, given the physics out for a corner, but it didn't. It's going to be a throw. But the chat has gone silent. See, there's something to watch here. I'm all talking to myself, and I'm okay with that. Throw in. Short throw into the corner for Bradford City on the right-hand side, looking and dancing. That's Gilead who tries to get it in there, and instead it's going to be another throw. 67% possession to start and only 50% passing. Long throw, headed away. Fletcher got to it, but it's just going to end up rolling out about 40 yards out, 35 yards out, flicked in. Okonkwo's got to go out and get it. He does, punched it. Woo! He took 2 steps and then he slowed down, and I was like, you either go or you don't go. But he did end up ultimately deciding to go for it and was able to get a fist on it. And here we go to the middle of the pitch. Switch and missed the pass, missed McLean, and so it's just bouncing around on the floor in the midfield. Bradford City able to get it under control. Come on now. Trouble front of the area. Okonkwo, it's going to go for a corner. Coming back, just a little bit of a disconnect between the midfield and the back line. I don't know whether we're setting up deeper with the back line or we're just not coming back enough with the midfielders, but there's a bit of a gap. And Bradford City's exploited it twice, that time for a good opportunity. The mindset sounds good going forward. A little bit concerned about that back line area. First corner of the game from the left side. It's an in-swinger, and here it comes. Headed away, up in the air, still in the penalty area. 18-yard box. It's cleared. Lee. And that lead ball, now we're trying to go through the floor, but we've missed 2 passes. Long ball in, Okonkwo should get that, and he goes out and collects. Should we feel bad, Kim? I don't. Fletcher flicked on. Mullen settles it, gets it to Lee, down to McLean. Lee and McLean looking to work down the left, but they get kind of mixed up, so it has to come back to EOC. EOC up to Evans. He's going to bring it back to Okonkwo, and we're going to set, refresh, and do it again. Sure can. I can try anyway. Misplay by Bradford, so we're going to get, that's 40 yards out, so too far for Tozer, so we take it quick down the right-hand side. Drawn in, Cannon, looking over to, is that Barnett over on the right? Dancing, Richards gets it up in the air. Is that going to go for a corner? It stays in, but it's in dangerous right side for us. Swept in, Fletcher there, header! Oh, great save! Mullen with the cross, Fletcher with the header, ends up getting it, had that far corner pegged, and a full stretch by Walker to end up pulling that one out. That looked like it was going into the corner of the net. Camera angle completely lined up, and just that one spot, the only place he could have reached with his hand, to be fair. I don't think he could have done full stretch and got it anywhere else. Well done by Fletcher. Kim, I don't know how you come up with these. I really don't. Was the first one by the second one by Barnett, or was the second one by Mullen? I couldn't tell from the sun in that one little area. They said Mark said Mullen, so I kind of was shocked that he was the one that was out there with Barnett. But it was good. That was a goal that was stolen from us. Hayden collects it. It's coming back, and here we go through the floor again. What are we doing? Who are we, these guys? Lee pushing it up over the midfield stripe down the left-hand side. McLean joins him. See how awesome this is? This looks great. It sounds great. Mark's excited. I'm excited. Switch over to the right-hand side. Hayden now pulls it all down to Barnett. Played forward, not the best touch, but Cannon saves it and gives it back. Cross incoming. No, he stops. Right on the touch line. Gets it back. Cannon. Oh, he found Evans came up for support, draws it back. Cannon, and we're going to do a switch. Are we, Hayden? He's looking. Nope. Flick it in. Onto the head of a defender, but we gain the ball again. Hey, Gail, thanks for joining. Lots of setup, lots of sniffing around, trying to find an opening. Barnett, it was right there. Have a crack shot. Bullet over top. The crowd was getting impatient. Mark's talking about it now, saying the crowd should have been doing better and staying quiet because we were calm down crowd, he says. Because we're getting too excitable. We haven't seen this amount of possession up front for a long time. Shots are sitting there 1-0, they say to them. I must be behind. Possession 63-37 to start. And they've got the only corner. Our passing improving up to 70%. Cannon tries to get it in middle of the pitch. Dispossessed, and Cannon doesn't take a yellow, trying to rip that one back. Hayden playing. This is the midfield. That's the midfield not coming back. They assumed Hayden was going to get there. They didn't, and now we're set. Just a little bit. Somebody who's got more experience, you tell me, is that our back line going back too far and separating from the mids, or is that the mids not coming back? Fletcher with it. At least I haven't noticed that large of a gap between the two. Barnett, great ball up the right-hand side, up to Cannon. Mullen, he's sitting there just the edge of the 18-yard box. Back to Cannon, he looks up, banged out, and we're going to get a crossover on the right-hand side. And I am all for that. While you're here, get the algorithm gods going. Hit the like button if you get a chance to go to Twitter, and you can find my tweet at the Red Horde that says watch here. Go and hit like, hit the replay button. Left-footed in swinger. It's dangerous. Fletcher left unmarked again. That's a hold. He couldn't reach the ball to go and get it at his feet because he literally had two hands on his back, and his number, you couldn't see the number because it had been twisted up and held. But you know what? Tozer's grabbing too. There's a little bit of tit for tat on that one. That was a little bit of tit for tat. So do you let it go? Dangerous and Bradford coming forward into the penalty area, 18-yard box, still looking. Tozer's there to pick him up. Two guys on cross, and it's going to go for a corner, and we'll take that. That was a bit of a giveaway there. That was sloppy at the back that ended up giving it away and giving him that opportunity. So it's going to be from the right-hand side. I'm assuming with their guy that it means it's going to be an outswinger. Oh, no, they've got a different person over there to bring it in as an in-swinger. So not sure who's serving this one up, but here it comes. Deep and easy just to go and collect for Okonkwo, and he's looking up. Delivered up. Thrown all the way forward to Mullen, past the midfield stripe. Mullen gets pushed, and he gets a free kick. Oh, no foul given? Mark says that was the right call. I thought that there was enough there. Did he go down easy? Yes. Was it still a foul? Yes. But we play on, and Bradford get it, but gave it away, and now we've gained control, and we're setting up in the center backs. I love the collect, and to be fair, I love that long throw that he weaponized right through the middle of the pitch. And if he's got that in his repertoire, given how bad his kicks are, maybe we should be looking at, see, that's a free kick. So I'm watching this again, the push on Mullins' back, and I mean, that was a foul, but it was a little bit easy. Not really tested so far. He's had one good defensive stop that I saw. But I don't think he's been tested. And yes, we're up. I mean, 76%. We were at 51%. Much better. Steven says that was a foul. Feel free to let me know what your guys' thoughts are on whether you thought that was a foul or not. I thought it was close. Could have been given, could have not been given. Evan setting up, not a guy that you expect to go direct. So we're probably going to have a play on, and he goes wide over to Barnett on the right-hand side. He's looking forward. He's got lots in the box from that free kick. Beat him. Keep coming, sir. Into the area. Played down. And you would have liked to get a little higher there, no? Stockport up 2-0. Curse them. Curse them. Morning, Tattoo Goddess. Nice to have you here. And everybody, as a matter of fact. That like button's still there. That notification button's still there if you want to know when these get thrown up to confirm that they're coming. It was all that set up over into the corner for Barnett to end up getting it, and then he gives a short ball forward with nobody really there, and it's turned away. But we just keep coming in waves. Like possession again on the right-hand side. Hayden with it, dancing now, 7, 8, 9 meters up the and allowed to throw it in up the end line, up the sideline. Missed touch, and you know what? They're looking a lot like us with the missed touches. That's their third just straight giveaway for no reason, where they've just handed us back the ball. We know from last game, hopefully, that that's a recipe for problems. Huzzah! Wimbledon over Barrow, 1-0. Header war in the midfield. Ping pong, and Fletcher just says, I'll chest this down to myself, and had control, but then he gave it away as Mullen was running the other way and they got their wires crossed. Over the top, long ball. O'Connell pushed, goes out, fouled, and we'll get a free kick in the corner. That one was easy. Yes. Absolutely. Need to get some finish, but this is what we do, right? We've seen this recipe before. At least it's a familiar one where it's just put them under pressure, put them under pressure. I'm surprised we've only got 2 goals. 64% possession so far. 1 shot on target each. We have 1 extra shot. Corners are 2-1. And Algonquo looking to thump it down the pitch. And does he keep it in the field of play? He does. Ping pong back and forth. Hayden stepped up. Well done for him for stepping up between those 2 attackers and nicking the ball. Played forward to the midfield and then kicked into the corner. You can hear the anxiety in the crowd is what Marcus Evans. He just made a guy flop in the middle of by himself. Just Lee plays it over to McLean. McLean left side, cross block down. A little bit more height, and that would have been dangerous. But there's some setup play. There's some awesome stuff. Hey, Chris, happy to have you here. Thanks for coming and joining us as we're up in the corner on the left-hand side. Is that Lee lining up for that one instead of McLean? Bring in the right-footed in-swinger? It is. Lee, right-footed in-swinger from the Lee. I haven't seen Lee take a corner, and holy, that is thumped well out. And this is somebody talking, and I think it was Matt on the Racecourse Ramble, who said, of all of the special skills that Lee has, why does he suck at taking corners? Because the ball is the same, the thump is the same, and he launched that one deep and impossible for anyone to get close to. So a little bit of a wasted opportunity there. Come on. Walker looking to put it forward. Brought back, softly played back for Okonkwo. And is that a throw-in? Okonkwo has to, like, if he can stop the ball, but they need to sit down with him and have him practice just kicking the ball down the pitch and keeping it within the confines of the field of play. It's a struggle. I believe in you, Tattoo. You can do it. It's a weekend to power through. If you jinxed us, Kim, you're going to have to do something. I don't know. Pay a penance. Cannon turns, moves it forward, midfield. Oh, and another turn. He went down. A flop? Ref is letting them play, or at least not rewarding the flops, because that was another one where I think it was a foul. I think we went down early and it wasn't given. So might be something said for the lads to be standing on their feet as much as they can. Lee with it. Turns. This play through the midfield is so much more glorious and amazing and impressive to watch. Midfield stripe down the right side to Barnett. Like, take them on, lads. So much better to watch than the garbage we saw in Salford. Our away game, like, where is this when we're away? Still going. Barnett played through. Beautiful. Barnett, long shot, and knocked away. Give me this every day. Every day. Walker's got his hands up. Barnett plays it through, gets it to Mullen. Mullen with a cheeky little play through, and Barnett moves over to the right and says, you know what, I can have a crack from here. And he puts him under pressure. To the bog, Kim, you're banished. It's ridiculous, right, Brendan? Absolutely ridiculous. Like, this is night and day from what we saw. Header, that was dangerous ball, headed away by the Bradford defender. It comes down to Evans. Gonna have a crack? Oh, I didn't know Evans had a boot like that. Plus 10 passing accuracy. That's got to be it. There's a lot of lines today, folks. Comment of the game. As I'm writing down these ones, we'll compete about them later. Have a chat. That was awesome. Yeah, the shots are coming. It's been Walker's had to make 2 great saves, and he has. Fletcher's on behind. He's got it between 2 defenders. Oh, well done, though. That was pushed forward. And are we going to nick another possession? No, Bradford sets it down just on their side of the midfield stripe. Long thump over top, completely missed. That's giveaway number 4. Completely unforced error by Bradford City, just giving the ball away. We will take those, but we need to punish them when we have them. Like a tractor engine. As long as, what is it that they use over in the UK? Couldn't hit a donkey's ass with a banjo? That's a foul. Thank you. Did McLean go down a little bit easier? I don't think he did. Oi, thanks, Louise, for the shout-out. It's an eye-opening game. So what are we? Right up against the line, 18-yard box extended. If you're to draw a line, I think that's where we're about. It's going to be a left footer coming in from the left side. Yeah, pretty much right in line with the 18-yard box extended. Served up. They're dangerous. Oh, right there. Fletcher was right there, did that back post. Let's find Fletcher move again. And here they come on the counter. Barnett's there. They're running towards us. Well done. Shoulder and no foul. Beats his man. Tozer. Oh, couldn't get the pass over far enough. And so Bradford sets it down. Cannon coming back, and that wasn't Cannon doing what he sometimes does, is get a little grabby at the back. Hayden missing that header could put us in trouble. No, rescued by Tozer. The cleats get up, and they're going to say free kick. It was a high ball. Dangerous. Didn't get with it, but the referee wanted to send the message, and he blew it down. Swiss guy, how are you? Do I have Switzerland on the list? I don't even know if I do. I'll write that one down. I think I do. It's been a while since we've had somebody from Switzerland join us, so that's awesome that you're here. Welcome. Fletcher up in the air, got it down, and just a little bit too far. He couldn't get the angle over to get it. If he needed to get it 90 degrees to Mullen, and instead it went 45, too far ahead. O'Connell, well done, putting it down. Evans comes over to rescue it. George is everywhere this afternoon. Over on the left side, gets it over to Lee, brings it on back midfield. George says, I'll take it over in the midfield. Giveaway. Tozer, that's 4 or 5 guys coming forward after that Tozer giveaway, and George is there to save it. To be fair, that was them giving it away. Here we come on the counter now. Lee dances around. Come on. That's got to be a yellow. Just reached around, Halliday did, and grabbed Lee and pulled him back as we were on a 3-on-4 and running with the ball. Lee trying to get the ball back. That had to be a yellow. Had to be a yellow. Yeah, Morecambe was the last one. So this one 40 yards out. McLean's over it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in at the edge of the 18-yard box. It's over to the far side. Well done to Tenner. Oh, Hayden. Missed it. Came around the back door, went wide, and came swinging back in. And it was a set play. They knew they were where it was. It was coming. McLean served it up right onto Hayden's head. He gets up there and just missed the far post. Come on. Can we score one up? McLean, had him beat, had everything. Would have been magic. I don't say that's untrue, Brendan. That's exactly bang on. I mean, let's be fair. We haven't seen, when have we seen all of the interplay that we've had so far, just with no results and no love? Got to check the score in the possession here. Flicked on. I can't even look at the phone because here we come. Lee, midfield, left side. He's got O'Connell on the left, McLean on the left. Dances forward, McLean back to O'Connell, left-hand side. Nice little long ball over, pushed at the edge of the area. Is he going to give it? Not interested. That was close. Again, it's, you know what it is it's that easy flop. There was a lot of contact there. 6 shots. Kavanaugh's on the floor, blowed down. Referee's not stopping play. Now he blows it down. And the fans are giving it to him. Give us the MLS rules. 15 seconds down, take your minute off the pitch, play a man down, right? It's the one thing that I think that MLS is doing right over what's happening. That blue card doesn't make sense to me, but the 10 minutes, or the lay on the floor for too long and go and take your time off. Yeah, hand on, push in the back. I think that there's enough there, but he did go down easier than he should have. Park. Graham Alexander getting a yellow card. There's this adding a little bit of feist because I thought it was Parkey giving it to him, the finger wag, and I saw a yellow card came out. I thought it was going to Parkey. It doesn't go to Parkey. It goes to Graham Alexander, the head coach for Bradford City Chickens. You know what I love about Wrexham matches is you hear the chat that Mark's having during a break with people around him, and it's just like a couple of people sitting at the bar having a blast talking football. So brought back, Tozer with it, doesn't get it out wide, and so here they come, 4 guys up. We've got 3 back. Long ball over to the corner. Hayden's there, knocks it down. George looking to rescue it, settles it down. Well done, George Evans. Thank you very much. Flipped around. Oh, blocked off, And that was, again, just that's a foul and potentially a yellow because the ball went forward. If Mullen was able to get there with the pass and around the corner, we had two guys running in 2-on-0, and instead they stopped the opportunity. Flipped over top, and he's taken out late, and Cannon gets angry, and we're going to get a free kick there. It's getting feisty. And the referee losing control, just a part of it because so much pressure that things are happening away from the ball and not getting any attention and any love from it. If that happens, because I could see it, Brendan, that's a blue card for you. That's a 10-minute sin bin offense. Looking for Fletcher, finds it. Fletcher goes up, gets it. Lee, left-hand side, has McLean over in the left corner, all from a free kick from a distance. This was on our side of the half, and just instantly we're up under a threatening possession. Evans goes to have a crack, holds it back, gets it to Lee, left-hand side. Lee, 18-yard box, just flicks it in. It's there, and could have had two opportunities. Mullen with the first touch, and it deflects, and waiting for the Tozer throw-in. Lee looking to take it quickly, defers over to Tozer, and away we go. It was an interesting middle ball that went in there because he had Mullen on the one side and he had Fletcher on the other, and the way that it dropped down is it was kind of halfway between both of them, but not close enough to either of them. In any event, Tozer with it, going to have the long throw. Middle of the area too far, and Walker just doesn't even move and collects it. So a little bit too close. Bang on. Does that count as a shot on goal? That was miles offside, so I didn't see it. I looked up at the screen, and all I saw was a Bradford City player bearing down on Ogonkwo and went, where the hell did that come from? Yeah, it was 3-4 yards off. Is that going for a corner? Mullen looking to have a quick go. Walker, the keeper, was way over to the right, so good on Mullen for lining it up and having a look at it. So Mullen goes and gets it, and Walker came out. Walker cleared it over to the right. Lee. So we're going to go with Lee, despite the horrible service he had in the last one. That one's better. Punched away. Boot. Oh, missed on the volley by Cannon. Heads it forward. Still there in the area, but the chicken's just not clearing the ball, which, I mean, we should be up. Fletcher, header on, stopped. Just rolling. For the love of God, we're up to how many shots? There had to have been like 3 right there. It has to be, right, Lee? It has to be. And another giveaway. That's 5 free turnovers. This was us and our disease last game, just giving it away. And the problem is what you'd like to think, or what I said last weekend, is if you give away that much possession, you're just always under pressure, and eventually you end up breaking. Please give us that goal. Is that a corner or a throw? Just a throw right from the corner, right next to the corner flag. Somebody go to the bog. Somebody sleeping in the truck gave us the replay button with no replay. We're going to have... This is a weird angle for Tozer because he's got to kind of come away. Long throw. Lots of Bradford players there, but it's headed on. It's only one defender there, 4 red around him, and they get it. Knocked down, smashed. Great save. Whew. The fans are into it. Everybody's got this one going. The manifestation thing is there. And yes, that's probably the message, Wemo, for the day is, especially with this referee. I mean, if you're going to get a referee that's going to take like the Jody Jones type dives and give penalties all over the place, then flop around like Jody Jones. But not this ref. He's not feeling it at all. Tozer doesn't take the long throw. Instead, he gives it to George. George flicked in. Oh, just missed Fletcher, just behind Hayden. Fletcher tries to get it. Chicken's running forward. Mad scramble from the back. 2-on-2, still coming forward. And we got a player down. And the fans are not. So aerial challenge, looking for a head. This one looks. I didn't see it. I don't know if somebody else saw it. I was trying to see the header, but the replays haven't given it to us to be able to tell how that head contact looked. It would have been head on head if it was anything at all. And he's still down in a world of trouble, it looks like. And he's got a bloody nose in the whole nine. So we will get some added time here. We're probably up to, 4 minutes already, pushing on to 5. I'm trying to see. I think it was Evans. It wasn't the first header. It was the second one that was pushed forward. It's right here. He goes up and he was the one drive. Cannon goes straight up, and Richards comes in at an angle and collides heads. Cannon didn't flinch, got it in the back of the noggin, but it looks like it cleared him out, and maybe he's done some damage to his nose. Do we have a new poll? It looks like lots of people saying this is going to be a close win, so I'll put that one up and wrap that one up. What do we got for shots? 8 total shots, 4 on target. Unlike us to have that many shots on target and not be able to put one in. $56 polls, 124 of you here. And while we're hitting her on a break, if you've got that like button down there, give it a thump. Feel free to go to Twitter and find it and give a like to the tweet that's out there to bring people in. Let the algorithm gods know that we're here. Yeah, that's always one of those things where you got to settle in. I thought it was funny because when I was looking at it, I saw Parkey giving the finger wave. And so this is an extended period down. But to be fair, it looks like he took a shot. It was really out of nothing. Like the ball was clear by the time he came diving in. And so he's going to end up coming off, and I don't know whether the head assessment will let him come back in, but that's Richards. Well, and Gail, I think the reason the crowd got so upset too was it didn't look like it came from anything, right? And he was writhing on the ground in pain, and it just looked. April 18th, season 3, at least in the US. We'll see about whether it's an extra day. And he's looking to come off. He can't come back on. He's wobbly. Like he just looked punch drunk there. No, you're not putting him back in the game. He's wobbly on his feet. Somebody needs to tell him to have a sit down. And we're back underway. Physio's talking to him. There's no way. Lee dances around the first guy, nutmegs the second. What are you doing, Magic Man Lee? Gets it into the box. Mullen, penalty area. Gets it out to McLean into the corner. We're just right straight into it, lads. Cross. It's there. Oh, floated in behind Mullen, who tried to slide. Couldn't get it. Goes out, and we're going to get a corner. Just punch him in the mouth after the break. Let's go. I don't like the fact that Richards, you don't mess around with head injuries, and the fact that he was wobbly on his feet, you do not let him back on. Physio stopped him. Well done on the physio guy. I think McLean wanted to serve that up for somebody, but instead it goes straight for the goalie. Like, give that physio a raise. Give that physio a raise. They're showing the replay of him going to run back out, and the physio's got him by the arm. Fourth official said you're permitted to go on, and the physio reached out and grabbed him and pulled him back. That's well done. We've got the ball, our side. I don't know if somebody's come in on a sub for him yet or whether they're still playing a man down. Long ball, O'Connell over the top, McLean there in the box, plays it down, middle of the area, Walker. It was hard for... I can't blame McLean there. If he could have played that backwards a little bit to the man who was running forward, where he played it and served it up, the only person who was going to get there was Walker, the keeper. Hayden flicked on. Fletcher tries to settle it down, but Bradford instead gets possession, and O'Connell comes off and nicks it from him right off the top over to Evans, and here we go through the midfield. Off the referee, but George is everywhere. Oh, and he didn't blow it down to play the ball, so... Yeah, that was... Okay, fair enough. They blew it down because there was a sub to come in, and that was the right thing to do on the opportunity. I thought he was going to give the ball away because he didn't. It hit the referee. So drop ball. I didn't think he blew the whistle down for the drop ball, so I thought he was penalizing us for George stopping it with his hand. I was like, you can't give a handball there. That's just horrible. Walker's had himself a game, and that's probably because I mentioned that he's got the 23rd worst save percentage in the freaking league. 59.3%, and today he's on fire. On fire. Oh, Mullen, lots of work on the right side. Leaves it for Cannon, who's coming forward. Is that Mullen or Barnett? Don't know, but looking for Fletcher. Not the best touch, and so it's going to go out. And then a foul. See, that's the flop, and Bradford gets the foul. So I didn't like that one. Yes, was it a foul? Sure. Did he go down? Easy, yes. So far this game, that's not been a foul. That time, we didn't get it. Are we talking about O'Connell's? Well, there's a big shout from the crowd, and I don't know exactly what that was all about. Anytime, Walker. Put that into play. I think Walker's trying to get to the half. He's probably feeling a little punch drunk down there, bounced around in the goal, trying to stop all these shots. O'Connell off of the toes of the Bradford City defender, and so we're going to end up going forward, and so we're going to have a throw in on the right-hand side. Hey, Dylan, nice to see you. Hope the driving's going well. Knocked forward, Bradford City with it. Well done on the cover by Tozer to get around O'Connell, who made the first stop to make sure that went there. Agreed. Threatening 70%. 67% on mine, 78% passing, well up from the 51% coin flip. Defensively, we've looked good. At least the center backs have. We've had a little bit of a disconnect, but that's a byproduct, I think, of how much pressure we've had. Lee with the slide, tries to get it forward. Bradford City pulls it down. We're there. Backline goes and collects. No pressure. Just, are you going to let it roll out? Yeah. All is well and getting better. I find I get tired a little bit more than normal, but that's fine. You've missed so far a cracker of a half. We deserve at least one here. Ogonkwo looking to move it forward. Will he keep it into the field of play? Yes, because he puts it down the middle. Fletcher loses that aerial challenge, and it's going to go back the other way. O'Connell puts it forward, and so Bradford City's going to get control here in the last minutes of the first half. Hayden plays it down, misses it. There's a player running forward into the box, has a thump. Ogonkwo, Whew. Not a lot of power on it, but when you're up at the 18-yard box and you got a right-footed boot coming through it, I was like, let's not give one away here at the end of the half. That would have been just an absolute nightmare. But we were let off there because that kick wasn't threatening. But here we go, coming forward again. Bradford City, left-hand side, over into the corner. Hayden gets his heels clipped up, but he maintains his balance. And they're turning back towards the midfield. McDonald on the left gets it over, looking to build up on the left-hand side is Bradford City. Gilead, Kelly, all the way back to the midfield stripe again. Pressure on, chasing. Mullen gave the shoulder, no foul given. I think that was a foul, to be fair. Bad, another giveaway. That's 6 unnecessary giveaways. Unforced errors. Fletcher over to Lee. Gets walked over. And then stands up and says, what the hell? Kick the ball away, no yellow card. Referee, interesting. That one could have been a yellow either way. Flipped in. Fletcher leaves it down for Mullen. Heads on! Come on! No, missed it. Fletcher up with the header, put it right down into the middle, served it up for Mullen, and he right at the 18-yard box, middle of the pitch, and he soared it up forward. It was gorgeous to view. Mullen left a little bit to be desired there. Fletcher down, right-footed, came up off the half volley off the ground, and he got underneath it and skied it. They just said here could have been done better there. I think we should have done better there. That's the service that Mullen has been lacking forever that he just ended up getting. Maybe he's rusty because he's had and Bradford City rolling on the ground. No sympathy from the Wrexham fans anyway. Can't give that. Thank you. And a card. That's two yellows. One for pulling back his arms and then one for pulling back Barnett on the jersey. Yes, that was gorgeous. As far as the build-up to that play was, the build-up was absolutely gorgeous. Straight grabs him by the arms and pulls him back, and then reaches up and grabs him by the jersey and pulls him back. Five minutes of added time. Gilead gets his yellow. I'm with you, Kim. So this one's going to be from a distance out. I don't think that they're going to take this direct. One guy in the wall. We've got a lot of bodies forward. And instead, we're going to just switch it over to the right-hand side and put it into the corner off of the free kick. And now look to serve it up from that right side. No, towards the middle of the pitch. Cannon, 25 out. Barnett, flipped. Dangerous ball. Walker comes out and collects. It was a dangerous area, but he needed to get it just a little bit further along. It was near post and easily collected. Yeah, we'll call it the yips. Waters had the yips. Mullen, different sort of yips. Waters just couldn't even seem to put the foot on the ball. Remember that preseason game where he danced around the ball and all he had to do was just kind of blow on it and it would have crossed the line. Couldn't do it. But Mullen skying that one. 2.5 minutes of added time to go here. Bradford City with it, looking to cheer it, get it forward. It's right there, right-footed. Skied. That time they thumped it, but this time thumped it well over. That was a dangerous opportunity. So that'll be 9 shots to 3 if we end up counting that one. Half volley again, full stride, coming forward. Absolutely slammed that one to Bradford City, but it cleared up over top. Yeah, a lot of people say away from the ball, they can tell that Mullen's slower than normal. We don't get that luxury. And what is Sheffield United doing to Luton Town? Odd. Played out, 1.5 minutes left. Bradford City putting us under pressure here for the end of it. Well done by you to put it into the middle of the pitch. George is there to collect it. And let's get an opportunity here late. Everybody feeling a little lazy. Let's push forward. Fletcher on the side. Got McLean up there. Fletcher gives it to McLean. Mullins screaming through the middle. Played forward. And good play by the defender to get there and get it away. Kicked out. We're going to get a throw in here and taken quickly. Thrown in. Fletcher with it over to Lee. Back to O'Connell on the left-hand side. Switch over to the right side through Tozer. No, through Hayden. Martin right side down to Cannon. He's pushed. That's not a free kick. It's enough shoulder charge there and battle over the ball to let that one go. Well done, George Evans. Little flick away, but that stopped the counterattack. And now we're able to get it. 7th unforced error by Bradford City, just giving the ball away. The frustrating part is they've given us so much possession and we haven't finished. Lee flicked up through the center. Fletcher. Lee looking down the left side. He's got McLean there, calls for it. McLean, puts it behind him and does go out. Yeah, that was a bad pass by Lee. Gave it to him, put him behind. McLean couldn't get there. There's, prior to today's game, I would have said no because he just wasn't getting service. Today's a little bit frustrating, a little bit happy. I'd be ecstatic. 78%, 56% passing, 7 unforced errors that I've counted. 9 shots to 3. Our X goals isn't very high, but I'll take that first half 100 times better than the last handful of games, whether that's just being at home or being away, or I don't know what the difference is, but they're just night and day between the two teams. Night and day. I'm going to take 2 minutes, not even a minute. I'm not going to change I mute myself, but I'm not going to change the screen. And I will be right back so we can get caught up on what was going on in that first half and maybe have a look at the table. Should we do that? Superstition? What do you think? And that's probably the topic to talk about. How soon does Mullen go out? When does Marriott come in now that we've got that as an option? I'll be right back. So we're back. That, I think, is the question, Stephen. It's sort of true with Parkey that he likes to let his players build in the new acquisitions to be built into the program and the process slowly. I can't remember any brand new toy coming in and immediately asserting themselves, at least this year. There tends to be a little bit of time to warm up. To be fair, Bolton didn't look good in the game against Salford, whether that was just overexcited or just not onto it or new position, new role for him. But Enmai had a hell of a game battling with him and out battled him. So it'll be interesting to see. I would like to see Marriott come in and have a run with Fletcher at some point, 60th, 65th minute. We'll see. It's an interesting one with Marriott or with Mullen, right? Because tell me if you agree with me that the problem with Mullen that so far this year was not has not been his inability. He's had a couple of sky balls, but for the last 5-6 games, it's been service. He just hasn't had any chances. Today's been different. There's been sniffs around, and that best opportunity that we had, I mean, he's human. He's allowed to miss, but it seems to be far more frequent this season than last. That is also a wonderful question. And I know that Ollie, there were the photos on Twitter of Ollie and Parky having a game when Palmer was dropped off the sheet. I was surprised that Dalby made the list and not Palmer for this game. I don't know. I thought that was a mistake. But the problem for me is Palmer I don't like as a super sub. I like Palmer for breaking down defenders over long games. Well, there's an opinion, Swirly. He just hasn't been performing since the injury, and for my eyes, I haven't seen enough of an opportunity for him to have it. He had right when he came back, he had a couple of clear misses. Yeah, and again, Stephen, interesting for anybody who's been to the racecourse or taken in an away game and seen it, whether they've noticed the difference. It's hard for us, or at least hard for me, maybe I'm just incompetent, to be able to see exactly what's happening with Mullen away from the ball, because a lot of the work that he does away from the ball, I've got no ability to see, to just be given the camera angle. So, but that's been a constant discussion. So I'm not going to deny that it's out there that Mullen is likely has slowed down this year. Yeah, Ollie hasn't looked good this year, in my eyes. But he's, at least as far as his striking ability goes, where he has looked good is I still think that he's good at maintaining possession and controlling the ball in the forwards and being able to allow Mullen to play off of him. And if you believe that, unlike Swirly, if you believe that the issue is one of service, then Ollie is that opportunity who they can play off of each other. And a lot of people say without Ollie, you lose out on Mullen. Some people say no, it's just Mullen and Ollie's not capable anymore, and so you've got to find options. Look, it's when you're not scoring goals, people have a lot of questions, and so we're not scoring goals, and so people have questions. Yeah, I should actually see that. Did I get a text? Andrew sent a photo. Starting 11. He's got his. I won't swap that one over, but there he is with the program sitting there. Envious. And where is he sitting? He is sitting. That looks like it's the Macron stand, closer to the tech end, two seats. So we won't be able to see him because he'll be right in front of the camera. But he'll be looking at he would have been looking at the goal that we were attacking for that entire first half. Yeah, that's true. I've been happy with Fletcher's performance, Dylan, when he's been healthy. I think every time he's out there, Fletcher seems to have a different level of quality. The touches that he has, the insight, the fact that he can see a couple of plays ahead. He's been rather impressive in my eyes. And I think that that's a frequent call is, to me, in the midfield, there's two that are untouchable. You can't bump Evans out of the lineup. You can't bump Lee out of the lineup. Lee, maybe you need, for the argument that giving him a rest, you could. Cannon, to me, is the guy that is a possibility to move. And a lot of people say that Jordan, though, doesn't look good over long stretches, that he's almost like a super sub in the midfield. I don't recall really seeing him over a long stretch to be able to have that opinion myself. But for me, I've liked his performance. I'm on the Davis fan train. I don't know. Better than Cannon, probably not normally, but given the sense that we've needed some help in the midfield, I'd probably be okay with that swap to give it a look. 2-goal difference. Oh, just over a 2-goal difference home and away. I mean, it's shocking. Did you sleep in, RKO? We got to buy you a new alarm clock, man. What the hell's going on? While we're here and it's the halftime and everybody's doing their thing, remember that like button's down below. Subscribe button's there too if you haven't hit it, although if you're chatting, it means you've had to have hit it. Classic. Oh, man. And feel free to go to Twitter and find it and throw that out there too. Yeah, to me, I don't have the running all over the pitch and doing nothing. I mean, to me, that's effort and that's trying. If as a striker, he could just be doing the pretty boy thing and sitting up at the front and waiting for a service, and he doesn't do that. So I give that as a credit to him, even when it doesn't work. I like the effort, but he has missed. You missed the best first half we've seen in a long time. As long as, or as far as performance goes, like it's. When was the last time we've had a half that was that impressive? No, you missed out on a goal because we haven't scored anything, and that's what Steven's saying is, or Steven's saying he didn't miss much, and you're right, he didn't miss much. And I remember, I can't remember what game it was, but I remember when he had the keeper out and he went to go and do a chip over top, and you can see the goalkeeper like with his hands up, and it sailed up way over top of the net, and I was like, that was just an odd decision because Mullen you would have expected more from, and didn't get there. So Sandy, someone gave her some time away from the office. Welcome, friend. Nice to see you again. So, I mean, yeah, you missed a cracker of a first half. There was so much interplay. A lot of it brought on by Bradford. Like, let's be honest, we were good. We were much better playing through the midfield, but we were also able to play through the midfield because they gave away the ball. I've got 7 unforced errors giving the ball away over to us. And so let's hope that continues because, man, we deserve 3 so far. Oh, I did forget to reset my timer. Thank you for identifying that. I will be 2 seconds as I go to the second half. And I set that at 45 minutes. If I can get, come on. Hit set there. Hopefully it's not running. And we're good. Thank you for that. Dylan with the bold goal in the first 5 minutes. And what do you think the message is? What do you think the message is? Maybe that's the poll. Let's bring that up as a poll, as I said I was going to do more. What is Parky's halftime message? Is it stay the course? Is it prop up some particular individuals? Is it enthusiasm? I mean, I think that may be obvious. I don't know if Parky would ever do the enthusiasm, but enthusiasm, and I'll say critical enthusiasm, which I don't know. I always see Parky to be better when he's screaming and yelling than doing the build up. But let's fire that one up there and throw that one there. Dylan's got the positive vibes. Think there's going to be a goal either. Dylan says it's going to be full of profanity, which is why I added critical to the language, Dylan, because I was like, if I put enthusiasm, what message is not going to have enthusiasm? So more of the same. I think that's the message. If he's got some way to identify certain players for certain tasks and successes that they've had, I'd like to probably see that to just end up, put a feather in the cap of some players when it's there. That is the oddest message I've seen. Greetings from Australia. My hovercraft is full of eels. Last weekend, I was on Dylan's Uber as he was driving around. Am I on a hovercraft now that's hauling eels in from the ocean or something, or river? No, RKO, I've had problems with it. I feel bad for W&G. It's called W&G Scoreboard, and I've got this. I think that the website that does it, Score Stream, give them a plug. is getting too much bandwidth, because on Friday nights it works like a dream, but every Saturday it ends up falling apart. And so it blinks and refreshes and does its thing. And so I'm trying to figure out what this means. Jello, you got to come back and you got to tell me. My hovercraft is full of eels. What's next? Like, am I going to space? Elon Musk? Like, what's going on here? Wrexham is everywhere. Wrexham is massive. We're in hovercrafts and Ubers and I'm not blaming anybody for nothing. Not blaming for nothing. It's just so Wimbledon up 2-0. That's helpful over Barrows. Stockport doing its thing. That's not helpful. What's Mansfield still up 1-0 on FGR? Would like to see them sneak in here. That'd be helpful. Let's just take 3 points. Can we not look at the out-of-town scoreboard? The hovercrafts fly upside down. The bogs rotate the other way. A Parramatta Eels fan. Well, then we have to dismiss him. Is that worthy of a ban? Being an Eels fan. Man, the Wimbledon Barrow thing's gone wonky. I don't even know what to do with that scoreboard. That's going to be a problem. So for those, we're getting started here as the house gets active and mobile around me. Bradford City going from right to left towards the tech end. For Wrexham going left to right towards the temporary cop. We've got the clock ready for the second half start. Waiting on the whistle as away we go. Come on here. Oh yeah, the eldest one of two is. The youngest one's still waiting, but there is no silence when he's awake. There we go. And with either one does the wailing and one does the thumping around. Bradford gets it started, pushes it forward. Tozer's got called on twice, once with the head, once with the foot, but he clears it away and it's going to go out. A giveaway to start. As I got to look for my FOT mob to bring up the details as we're going. No changes, 9 shots to 3, 4 on target. Bradford with possession early, doing much better just by putting us a little bit on threat, and Hayden plays it back for Ogonkwo. -0 to -0. Yeah, I don't even know if I should shut it down. I feel bad. It sucks because every time I go to load it up, it all works perfectly. Fletcher with a great touch in the midfield, but he's surrounded by 4 people, gives it away. Mullen out there, chases down with Walker, and it falls to the middle of the pitch. George sets it back. Hayden, and we're going to look to move this thing forward. Over the right-hand side, Barnett. Mishit, but it's going to go to us and pushed in the back, and we're going to get a free kick. That one, you had to call the free kick there just because the arch of the back wasn't normal. Like, he got his back did the full, like, it looked like the letter C. George on the ball, plays it forward, and they're going to keep it underfoot. Hayden over on the right-hand side. Draws it over to Cannon. He's grabbed, manhandled, and the ref says, that was fine. And away they come. 3-on-2. It was important for EOC Ewan to get his head on that one and play it forward. Another push in the back. Thank you. It's that little push in the back now that's happened 2 or 3 times. And that Holiday's like, what? Me? No, I didn't. We owned them the first half. Bradford was playing like us in Salford, lots of giveaways. And we had opportunity after opportunity, so much pressure, and just couldn't score. Walker made 2 great saves. Mullen shot one over the net that he probably should have scored on. We had a couple of just slight misses. So far this half, a lot even, a giveaway by us. We're not as feisty coming out of the second half so far. Cook gets it, plays it forward. This is the most continued possession that Bradford's had in a while, as we get a flop, and that's going to get the free kick over there. Oops, and I just lost my scoreboard up there. It's been that kind of day, and it's back. Maybe that was all that was necessary, which would make no sense to me. But yeah, that's not the problem. So we're going to have a free kick over from the right side. Bradford City taking it. Bradford's fans heard for the first time. And you look at the momentum meter. Had it down, Algonquin able to collect it. You look at the momentum meter. That's the only yellow. And so Sandy's going to have to go and sit in the bog, comes back after the first half, and everything falls apart. Maybe this is where we score, and Kimmer's got the call. So we have it. Evans through the center over to the left side. O'Connell looking for the switch, and says, no, I'll put it through the middle. Long ball. That's an interesting one. He flips it back over to the left. That was an impressive switch, and it gets headed away, and we'll get a Tozer bomb. EOC with the creative. That was... He right-footed, reached forward to hook it over to the left. And McLean gets over there and it gets knocked out. Catalyst Gaming, thanks for joining. Welcome to the show. Long throw-in. Tozer throwing in from the left. Lee coming in to take it short. Grabs it into the box. 18-yard area. Tozer serves it up. It's dangerous. Fletcher, Kenny's got two guys boxing him up. That Fletcher through the back post thing, they know it's coming. Because that time they just set two guys up and set up a wall just to block Fletcher. That was classic. $63% possession, so they've nibbled into that a little bit. Still, the shots are 9-3 according to FOTMob. That could change here. 78% passing with 200 passes. And trouble. Bradford City puts it forward in the box area. Offside and missed. Kavanaugh missed that extra little pass that they had. To be fair, it was a 2-on-1, and the player who had it and who made the pass probably could have just kept it and kept it onside. It was close to being onside, but just off. I think that was the right call. It was a close one, but Kavanaugh offside, and it doesn't matter. He skyballed it, but yikes. 4 games at 0-0. It's like the dog days of summer in baseball. The opposites of January, February blues. Like, just cup games end, back into league, flicks it wide. Barnett, lots of space over onto the right-hand side. Cross, flat ball. What was that? I think that hit Hayden's arm, and he gets pulled down. The grabbing and the pulling is getting to be less tolerated by the official. And it was played, and the referee says, no, you can play it over here. No, I'm over here. Where are you? I'm here. Why are we not going to where he is? It's a better position. He says, I don't care. I want it here. I don't know what that was all about. Spring training, here we come. So where are we going here? McLean's got it left foot and lots of people forward. Nobody in a wall. I don't think he's going to have a crack. He goes far post looking for Fletcher, and it bounces off, and it's going to go for a corner. That was dangerous because that was a weird position to be in. But he made that one dangerous. Far post, headed away, coming down, and it's there for Evans, who's playing center back role, gets it back over to Lee on the left-hand side, tries to get the cross in, pulls it back. Steady, looks up. He's just dancing, looking for an opportunity to get the cross in, still dancing, waiting, flicks it forward. Missed Mullen, bad pass. Well, that's helpful for Ford to get back in. To be fair, with having all the right backs that we want, that extra spot, I want a center back from North America. Hey, nice little ball forward. Mullen not there on the chase, and it gets swept out, and it goes out. Barnett looking, takes it quick, gets it into Mullen. Mullen pulled over, knocked over. Stop flopping, Mullen. Stop flopping. Puts us under pressure, and O'Connell goes over. That one frustrated me because that was just maybe the pace is there, and he just couldn't get to the ball, and so that's why he decided to take the flop. It is a glorious day to see. Difficult for Ogonko, who's got the sun in his eyes, as we're up to 10 shots to 4. Yeah, we didn't address our issue, which was in the middle of the pitch. Hayden moving it forward. Somebody's going to get a chance to be a hero today. Who wants to take that? Hayden went and played the ball. They brought it back because the foot was high, took away no playing advantage. And Mullen, Mullen can come out. That's 2 in a row that he's just lost one-on-one battles. Are we getting a free kick? No, we're getting a throw in. Decided to go neutral. Cannon probably was fouled, but he did what my toddler does when he's jumping on the bed and threw his legs out so he could land on his rump. Cam, you know better. Women signed 3 players. Grimsby, hey, let's hope. Long throw, Tozer, near post, flick it on, headed down. Was that a handball? That was a weird deflection. I don't know. Okay, they say thigh. It just came off weird. Knocked down. Well done. Couldn't keep it. Cannon from a weird position had to knock it back. It was a 2-on-1, but who was that? O'Connell? O'Connell cleared that one and set it up. Well done on O'Connell. I'll give him credit because I'm hard on him. But that was well done getting back and able to knock that one away. Lee will answer the call. You know what? I'm going to call Marriott. Put himself into the annals and the lore of Wrexham and come on at home in his first game at the Racecourse and rip one. Why else? Because I don't have a video for him. So it's going to be somebody who doesn't have a video. Yeah, we're getting there. I know. He's been playing great. He's had one bad pass early in the first half. But if I'm going to tolerate Ogonko's stormtrooper passing, I got to accept O'Connell's as well. Mullen up there, puts him under pressure. It's going to go out. Oh, he was able to hook that one in. That's an impressive play by the Bradford City player to bring it forward and back into the pitch. Bradford City in the middle of the pitch now, moving forward. Kavanaugh, Smallwood, McDonald, just kicking it back and forth to each other before they move it forward. That's Gilead down the left side. Some extended possession and some extended passing through the center backs as they're looking for options. They swing it all the way over to the right in Bradford City. Not running around like chickens with their head cut off. And, that was a bad turn from O'Connell gave them an opportunity. Lee tripped up. You got to call that. That's got to be nothing given either way. That was a trip, I thought, away from the ball. And then you could have got McLean on the pulling him back in. Talking about donkeys, I love that saying. The couldn't hit the back the donkey, the broadside of a donkey with a banjo, or the donkey's ass with a banjo. It makes no sense to me. Broadside of a barn makes sense. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Bad pass by Barnett, but great stretch by Fletcher to pull it down. Switch is on, but given away. 3 players on the counterattack. O'Connell, well done, O'Connell, to step forward. Do I dare say man of the match territory for O'Connell? Lee pushed it forward, right side. Cannon decides not to give it to Barnett, pushes it forward. He's there, 18-yard area, flicks on, goal line. Barnett cross, gonna go for a corner. Well done, well done. 54% not punished, 55%. We've got 10 shots on goal, 64% possession. Like, everything is lining up and says this should be. If this was Wrexham that was playing in form, and be like, yeah, we're fine. This is control that we never have, and we'll end up fine in the back of the net. Now everybody's a little nervy. Luton draws one in on Sheffield, and here comes the in swinger, far post, and way too far. That's two corners. Fletcher saying that he was there and fouled, but they're not sleeping on that back post play. But that was similar to what Lee pumped out there in the first half, if you'll recall, just overshooting the far post. I can't object to the people who say Lee is the MVP. For me, even though he's never won a man of the match, it's George Evans. Every single game, it just controls that midfield and takes on a role that nobody loves, but is probably the most important position out there. So that's got to be mine. Crew up 1-0. Yeah. Okay. Couldn't score in a brothel. Yeah. I don't have one. But Fletcher, speaking of Fletcher on the left-hand side, gets it over to McLean. Lee looks to, that was a dangerous pass. Got the cannon over, lots of space. Somebody looked for something. Wasted. I mean, we're going to get a corner there, but why did we pump that in when everybody was coming forward? I'm looking for Brendan to help out with that. Couldn't score in a brothel. Mine is my sofa is full on cushions. Easy take. I'm starting to get a little frustrated because now it's final 1/3 lack of touch, like lack of threat. It's the first half we were far more threatening when we went forward. We just weren't getting any luck or any scoring or any magic. Here we're missing touches and we're pushing the ball too far, or we're racing in and when players haven't had an opportunity to get set up. Santiago, I hope you're right. We'll remember that 63rd minute if it goes in here shortly. You win yourself a round of applause. Yeah, I couldn't hit a broadside of a barn. That's the couldn't hit a donkey's ass with a banjo. Couldn't score in a brothel. God. Lee, we said that before, but now you said defo. Last half you said it's coming. Now you say it's defo. Bradford City with control. Moving it past the midfield stripe, and Hayden steps over front and knocks it forward to Cannon. Nice little interception, and well done by him. Hayden, again, with it, moves it over to George. Advancing on the switch, left. McLean dancing, and he overdanced themselves. He nutmegged Halliday and got lost the ball. Evans, control. Lee down the left-hand side. No, we're going to go to Cannon on the right-hand side. Get it over to Barnett. Patience, Barnett. There's nobody there. Now go. Anytime. There's the service. Well done. It's their header. Oh, come on. No, he missed it. Lee. Barnett waited. Did exactly what he didn't do right before. He waited. And then he put up the perfect, beautiful service for Lee to be able to just, all he had to do was just tap that in with the header. Nobody's there. Lee's got all the patience and time in the world, and he scuffs it off his head, and it rolls to the left. Frustrating. Bradford, Young looking to come in as a striker. I'm assuming that's to take Cook off, who, to be fair, Brendan, you can tell me otherwise, but Cook's done nothing. O'Connell plays it forward. a giveaway from Bradford City, and that was from a center back. So we got move. We can't get it forward. We had numbers, couldn't get them forward. So we've gone the other way. Hayden over to Barnett. Numbers are moving forward. Here comes that 63rd minute, right? Barnett, cross in. It's there. Fletcher looks to knock it down. Has a crack. Saved. I wanted that 63rd minute. I wanted it. Sniffing around. This is looking like the first half again. Oh, Brandon, I don't want to have to give you credit, man. Come on. Does that mean that EOC comes off if Young is going on because Young's got pace? But Barnett, potential man of the match. Who would be my man of the match? Evans, Lee, switch on. Caught late, card straight out, left. Foot of McLean looks like it's okay. He looks like he's looking around all right. Just stepped on him, but the way that McLean was holding it, yellow card. My screen goes fuzzy. Yeah, I think it's. I wanted to do more polls today, and I haven't done it. I'm going to shut something down here just so that we can stop that from happening. I need to get a new graphic card to be able to add any more load to the computer. As we've got Jake Young coming in for Kavanaugh. So they're going for it. They're supposed to be changing their shape and putting Cook and Young up front. 65th minute. I would like to see the subs myself, but I don't know what that means, but I'm going to assume that it's can't even hit a nail with a donkey. Oh, that was from that free kick. We pushed it into the box, had a header, but it was able to get cleared, and we've kicked it away. And now Bradford City with the throw in. So Mark's talking about it. So I'll ask the question that they're asking here is, do you make changes when we have been threatening? Right? To me, Marriott for Mullen, that's the change that I would make. Am I wrong? Mullen flips. He's going to prove me wrong right here, right? Mullen, all of us, because we've been questioning. Gets it back to Evans, middle of the pitch, draws it over to Lee on the left-hand side. Lee. Tozer came up. I thought that was O'Connell. Lee, right side foot, too far for Fletcher. Just a little bit too far. Kim says she'll take it. 12 shots to 5. We just keep tallying shots. Would love to see a goal, and then we can look back and say, we controlled the whole thing and walked it to an easy 3. Where I think most of us are looking at that clock ticking and going, come on, somebody. Wrexham with the drama. Always with the drama. Walker. Long thump down. Goes over top of Hayden's head. Goes over top of Barnett's head. And they've got it left foot area. Young taking on Barnett. And it goes for a corner. Oh, goal kick. Barnett able to bang it off of Young. And he gets a pat on the back. And it's going to go for a goal kick. Well done, Mr. Barnett. Offensively, defensively. Ryan is everywhere. Yeah, well done. And that's Jake Young from Swindon who lit up the start of the year. Like, that's no lazy sub. Santiago's with me that if there's a sub to be made. Oh, no. That's not the sub. If that's Dalby putting his. I don't want Dalby for Mullen. And I don't want both Dalby and Mullen for the two of them. What are we doing? Dalton and Dalby are up. Bolton and Dalby. Why Dalby? Why Dalby? I don't get it. All of the stock that Marriott has, and you're going to bring Dalby on 4 instead of Marriott. He better have a knock. Bradford City moving forward. Center of the area, looking for an option. Left side, 30 yards out. Moves into the center of the pitch and the switch is on over to the right. Gilead with it over on the right side. He's normally on the left, but he's made it all the way over. Headed away by O'Connell. Are we able to maintain control? Yes. Fletcher, nice little touch, ticky-tack to himself to pull it back, and they get it back to O'Connell, who moves it forward. Mullen, not even threatening against those two center backs, and so sort of given away. Yeah. Pace. Kelly, that's not Kelly, that's Young, isn't it? Young. That's Young dancing on EOC, and this is where I get nervous with EOC, and he does a really, really nice job, is because you'll remember Young carved the crap out of us when he was with Swindon. And so him running at us is the last thing I want right now. Handball, and we're going to go for subs. Yeah, I don't want this sub. This is not what I wanted. Bolton I'm okay with. He's going to come in for Barnett, which has been our best guy down the right-hand side. So you can question whether that's the right decision. And Dalby's going to come in for, I'm assuming it's going to be Fletcher. Yeah. I would have left Fletcher and I would have put Marriott in for Mullen. And I would have left Barnett on the pitch. Somebody tell me why Ryan's coming off. I know Bolton's got good stock and lots of pace, and arguably he may even be an upgrade on Barnett, yet to be seen. But in this game, at this moment, like, it almost feels like Parkey's scripted in when he's going to be coming in, irrespective of what the hell is going on in the game, because you just took off your best player in the 70th minute, the guy who was stirring the drink. Now, into the middle of the area, top. Who is that? Cannon not moving forward, tries to get it forward. Lee can swing it forward, and here we go. Evans flipped up forward. Mullen takes us, and that's got to go for a corner. That's got to go for a corner. I was going to say that can't come off of his boot and go that high without it deflecting off of somebody. Is anybody happy with those subs? Somebody? Anybody? Brennan says nobody's happy. Kim says this is dumb. Dave says throws in some enthusiasm. Yeah, he's like, I don't get it. He wasn't watching the same game that we were. Or corner way too far, all the way over. Those back post Fletcher goals, we're all searching for it. Tozer, long throw from the opposite side, hurled in. That's more dangerous than the corner was, but still not that dangerous. Evans serves it back into the box. Hayden's there. Can he get there? He flicks it back over into the... Were we offside? Dalby offside. So much attack, so much threat. I just don't get it. If you didn't have Barnett for man of the match so far, who did you have? He was there defensively coming back. He was there as a forward. Brendan's going to say maybe EOC. We're going to get a free kick there, just inadvertent trip up on Lee. So we're at the midfield stripe with it. I'm trying to think, like, how often does a manager take off the best player on the pitch? And tell me I was wrong. Like, George has been George. He's been solid. He's been impressive. And you always have the argument that he could be the best. Bolton, well, nice touch. And you know what? That's not to take anything away from Bolton. And he's just earned himself a free kick. And the little guy, little Bolton, up against the larger Bradford defender. And they ended up bouncing off of each other. And the Bradford player looks like he just got shot. laying on the ground, writhing in pain. Okay, well, that's interesting. So Lee maybe, but I guess launched out of a cannon by Kavanaugh, and he runs into the Bradford defender, Smallwood, and Smallwood's writhing on the ground like. Yeah, it has to be scripted. He's got the stats, and he knows when people are going to fade, and he just looked at it. I would have pushed Barnett. And again, I say that not a criticism of Bolton. Bolton could be better than Ryan, from what people are talking of him. At least more pace anyway, although his crosses left a lot to be desired last game. Swept in, it's dangerous, but Walker's going to come out and get that. I thought if we had a chance to get to that early, but it might have hung up just a little bit too much, which allowed for Walker to get there. Ogonk was there, Bolton going back. Quick throw behind Bolton, bad pass, and they come the other way. Was that offside? It wasn't offside. Hayden, thank you, Hayden. He gets us. Shish. So, okay, so we've got Lee as the other option. Barnett coming off. So I can see it. Lee, one of the two, is where we're at with the conclusion, is to me, Barnett was doing better than Lee, but I'll accept that argument that maybe Lee was better, but that's one of your top two playing forward. A bad pass behind Bolton here ends up coming the other way, and now we're dealing with a corner in the 74th minute. Whistle blown down, and there's going to be a penalty. Didn't like something. Going to go talk to somebody. Well, do it quickly, sir, instead of letting the clock. Come on, man. Why are we going this slow? Ref, what are we doing? Like, if you're going to go in and you're going to scold somebody and you're going to stop the clock to do it, then go ahead and do it now. He's going to do the slow walk back. He's still chatting like he's taking time off the clock, and that's a solid 30 seconds. I hope for the love of God he tapped his clock. Still walking back. He's now at the 18-yard. No whistle. Did I hear whistle? Dangerous. Okonkwo able to collect it. Well, that was dangerous, and I didn't like it. Long throw over onto the right. McLean down the line. Finds him. Play it forward? No, he does. Lee. Dalby's got it up on the left-hand side. Plays it forward to McLean. Cross into the area. Going to go for a corner. We get our corner from the left. You know what? Well done getting it all down there because they were scrambling and in play. But that they shouldn't have got ahead on that ball. That was over top of Dalby, and they put it up 3 guys into the same area, and our 4 guys that were there were all on the wrong side of the ball. That corner, not really that threatening. Kind of just bounced around in the box, but ultimately cleared. And so we've got possession. We come the other side. Bolton, let's see what you got, sir. Running at Gilead, takes him on. Unlike this, getting into the box. You know what? Good on Bolton, because that's the first time we've seen him where the challenge has really been towards the box from the flank rather than just looking for the opening for the cross. Bolton says, piss on this. I'm taking it into the box, leaving you with increased options, but he's well done. So going to be a corner from in-swinger from the right side. Far post. Tozer heads it back in and gets it. Well, he's a way better manager than I ever will be. So I trust the man. But that just didn't make any sense. 76 minutes. We got 14 minutes plus added time. Going to have at least 4 minutes, I think, on this one. Poor ball from Hayden. We got it out. Couldn't get it to Bolton. And it comes on out. Somebody's got to tell him that he had time. The time wasting. Bradford trying to get to that extra point. That's what's happening already. Gilead forward. Plays it back. Thumped forward. Cook has it. Looking forward. Dangerous as it came forward there. Who was that? That was one of the subs that came in. They've got 2 new forwards up there. And that header going back was a little bit lackadaisical and put under threat. Ogonkwo, right foot through the middle of the pitch. Mullen touches it to flick it on. Hayden, volley over the top, and it's going to go to Walker, and that's an easy one. Hey. Brendan, we thank you for your service. If you're new here, that's usually the sign that somebody's going to score. Now everybody's talking about it. The power of the bog compels us. Headed down, player staying down. Referee's got no time for that, so he picks himself up and jumps up and runs back. I'm not okay with professionals being fragile. You get your minutes based on your performance. It's like that in any sport, should be anyway. Is it going to go out for a goal kick? Mullen's going to try and get it. No, he's not able to get there. No, I don't think he did. He claimed that he did, but I was like, that didn't get close. Oh, I don't know if that's fair. I'm pretty good at screaming. I'm not Welsh. I think this one has been nervy, right? And I say nervy because even as I go foggy, even early on, we were doing chants for the shoot when we had a whole lot of possession and we were actually dominating play and the fans were getting impatient. And I think the dynamic has changed. I think fans are a little bit nervous and maybe that anxiety is getting picked up. I think that that's anxiety based on performance, not non-Wrexham or non-Wrexhamites. Could have been. Could have been. Bradford City moving forward, left-hand side. Gilead pushing towards the 18-yard box, gets it to the outside. Looking for the cross. Smallwood, the captain, brings it on back. Switch over to the right-hand side. Having a crack. Had it away. Tozer didn't let that get to the Ogonquo because just knocked it down. And we've got a turnover. Let's go. Hurry up. I don't know if that was a foul. That was a play on the ball, and he Mullen off by Marriott. Jones coming in, I'm assuming, for Cannon. Twaddle. Word for the day. Twaddle. I like it. I actually didn't see. Was it Jones on for Cannon? Yeah. Well, if Parky's nothing but predictable, Okonkwo, he could probably put this right into the box if he wanted to, but he sends it down the left-hand side for Dalby. Dalby gets it. Marriott tries to make a play on it. It goes there. Marriott, I think, was offside. Dalby is back on side now. Dalby couldn't have got that off for a corner. He was on the side of him. I'd like to see the other angle on that. 9 minutes left. The crowd has gone stiff. Instead of being excitement, waiting and anticipating the squeaky bum time and the defibrillators and the surprise and the shock, I think most people are a little bit anxious. I feel anxiety. Is that what emotion you're feeling? Took on O'Connell, dances around him on the right-hand side. This is... It's stabbed in. Oh. Penalty. That was a penalty. That was a penalty. Fuck. Out of absolutely nothing. Did he flop? Yes. But did Hayden grab him by the shoulders? Yes. It's a penalty. I mean, this is what I was talking about before. And let's talk about EOC for a second here. When you have young guys, pacey guys on that right side, it's dangerous. So you have everybody over there. Hayden's the last man in. The play comes over. O'Connell gets beat. Oh, it wasn't O'Connell on that. It was McLean. Nobody came out to see him. Tozer misses it, and Hayden grabs it. So penalty for Bradford from the spot. Cook's going to take it. Okonkwo's there. 82nd minute. Are you fucking joking me with this? Okonkwo, Cook staring at each other at the dot. Lineup is there. This is just absolutely garbage. Need a save. Need a huge save. And saved off of his heels. Saved off of his heels. Whoo, put it down the middle, and the length of Okonkwo. The length of Okonkwo saves us. Holy, we had the counter attack, and instead we don't get it. Ay, 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 ay. Thank you, Arthur. Cook pushes it through, and that was one of those ones. Okonkwo was going from the center to his right. Cook put it right down the middle, and he just left his legs there in the ground and stuck them as long as he could, and they ended up catching him full horizontal. Oh, I wouldn't say a Foster moment because it wasn't the double deflection and for promotion, but that was a hell of a stop. But one of those ones where the benefits of his biology certainly assisted and facilitated that one by hanging himself to the ground. Yikes. Okay, let's add to this. Come on. If we would have lost the point on this one, I would have lost my mind, but we really deserve 3. Bolton puts it down. Couldn't get there. And it's going to go out for a throw. And while it does, let's hit this one.
Arthur Okonkwo on loan from Arsenal.
Mute. That's a red card. Cleared him right out of the back. Slew foot, brings him back. Now cleared out, and a free kick going the other way. They're holding on to the ball. What the bloody hell was that? Sorry, guys. I muted the Okonkwo video, unmuted it, and then ended up muting myself as well. I'm like that slew foot wipeout on that had to be a red. That had to be a red. It's a poor challenge from the back. Instead, we're going to get a McLean free kick over on the left side. This one, that was a yellow card that led to this free kick. But George being taken out. Absolute garbage. Dangerous, it's there. Oh, missed Lee. God, Lee, gee wish. That was O'Connell. It wasn't Lee. No, it was Lee. McLean got up there. Both guys go screaming through. Get a chance, get just the slightest touch, but not enough. McLean, that was a good ball. He just got, that's the second header, but that one, I don't think Lee could have got much more on it based on the angle he was at. Yes, it has come to life so much so I'm muting myself and missing. It got really scrambly there while I muted myself, and there were aggressive tackles. There was a fair tackle where both players went in hard, hit the ball at the same time, scored a loose, no call. Goes back, and then we end up getting the ball. Bolton, nice little play, nicking it back, pushes it all the way down. Is it going to stay in? It was out to Marriott, and he didn't get it there, but that was a nice idea. The turkey party. McLean is streaking off as Mendy comes on. 87th minute. We're going to have at least 5, I think. Do we think that they? I think you're asking if we think that they can score, or I just said something bad, and not because I can't read what that first part is. I mean, we've been threatening. We've been threatening the whole game. We just can't get the bloody thing across the line. To be fair, since they've made their forwards change and brought up Young and I don't even know who the other guy is. They've been threatening too. They've had less giveaways this half. But we've got the Mullen miss, the Lee miss. What's interesting is they've got more shots on target. They're 6 for 8. We're 5 of 13. 78% passing. Their passing's improved a lot. Lots of possession. Tozer, is he going to get it to the edge of the area? A long throw. Actually, that was a hell of a throw. Wow. Evans looks to set it up. No, he's going to play it over. Bolton flicks it over too far. Oh, he got tumbled by his own players. Walker got wiped out by his own players, and now I'm curious to see what he does. He's got to stop play, I think, but that had nothing to do with us. Walker did like a full, I wouldn't be surprised if he's actually really dinged up here. He went up to go and clear the ball, had his 3 center backs all collapse together, and he flipped up over top and did like the whole cartwheel, and I'm pretty sure landed on the back of his head. Oof. It was off his own man, so there's no foul. Should have gone ice fishing today. Yeah, I think he'll be back. He'll be okay. He landed mostly on his back and not on his head, so I'm sure that was a bit of a shock, but he should be okay. We need a win. Sandy's exactly right. Like, let's call it what it is. Took that one on the ribs. Welcome from Turkey. Hey, I'll add that one to the list. Should be, I think, 7-8 minutes makes sense to me. And Sandy's summarized where we're at with this one. Is we deserve 3 points for the performance, but I am tired of saying we deserve better, and when we don't sufficiently get what we need. 3 of the next 4 on the road. Didn't give it. They turn, spin, Cook in the box by himself. Huge save, Okonkwo, and it's in. Off of a foul, and you don't give the foul, and Cookie gets the goal. It's stolen. I want to see the build-up for that play, because there was a hold, grabbed him by the shoulder, ends up freeing it up, and away they go. 1-0 bad guys. Absolute bullshit. 6 minutes is all that's added. We're going to have more time. Lee, they're not going to show it. Back it up more on the replay, because it was Lee who ends up getting pulled by the shoulders and going down. And when he does, it freezes the ball up for Cook. And so Cook grabs it. Lee's laying on the ground looking. George is trying to scramble over and get it. O'Connell's trying to scramble over and get it. But you give it to Cook. Once he had the ball, he danced 2 of our guys who were scrambling to get it free. But the ball is only free because Lee gets ripped to the ground. And Okonkwo made the first save, couldn't make the second. And Cookie gets a yellow for the celebration. Fucking bullshit. I mean, to be fair, that was my live reaction, and I have not seen the replay for Lee getting pulled down. Subs are on as that one of their forwards comes off in favor of a center back. Sam Stubbs in for Odor. And to be fair, Odor, the 24-year-old, he's looked really good. 20 or 24? He's their young guy. He's looked good when he came in. Yeah, that's a foul all day. He's got Lee by the top of the jersey. He reefs on him 3 times and ends up pulling him down. That's garbage. And Lee didn't go down easy. That wasn't a flop. Lee was trying to stay on his feet, and he kept getting reefed on the back of the neck. Well, I wouldn't go that far to say the season's over, but it is fucking frustrating to deal with this. Bolton looking, crossing, doesn't get the good cross in. I am frustrated at Parkey for his predictable subs, and he wasn't watching the game. He just went with the script. Bradford, what did they do? They watched the game, knew that they needed to go after it. They brought in 2 forwards. Mendy with it, left-hand side, looks to get it cross, drilled in, but bangs around off of pinballs off of their legs and dies at their feet. So they're going to launch it and have a throw. 3 minutes left. O'Connell with it. They saw that they weren't getting any threats off of O'Connell through Cook alone. So they bring in O'Dur, they bring in Jake Young, and the two of them start creating threats. And we don't do it. He's just allergic to making, I don't want to say smart decisions, but decisions based on the game before him. Dalby's there, heads it down. It's there. Mullen turns. That's offside. Yeah, he's offside, laying on the ground. He had to be offside. Deflected Mullen off to Mullen, and then off of his shot to Dalby, who's trying to windmill spin on the ground to knock it in. Threatening, but not there. I'm pretty sure it's a standard 2 p.m. UK start, 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. West, 9 a.m. Eastern. I believe that my kids won't wake up in time, but if they do, I may be on my own, so they could be in the room with me. Brendan, we might have to queue you up for some support on that one tomorrow. 2 minutes of added time, headed, gets it out, misplay by Bolton. Let's be honest, he hasn't been as class as Barnett was today. Andrew steps in and says the pen was a penalty, and he's right. But how he didn't give for a goal for their goal is unreal. And that's exactly as it just dies at the edge. Well done by is that Cook? At Bolton, that's Evans. Evans takes it, gets it over. Mendy with it on a blast. 1 minute left. We're looking for some heart attack magic just to draw even and steal a point at home. Swift kick to the groin. This game is headed out. Ball boy gets it to Bolton quickly. Going to get it to Tozer, who's running all the way over. Tozer's got it, setting up. 30 seconds. Probably have at least an extra 30 seconds of time. Slung in. Hayden up. Can't get it. Bolton comes out, gets it over to Tozer. Right footed in. It's lots of bodies there. Headed. Somebody. It goes out. It's going to be a goal kick. That's probably going to be it. I'm with you, Catalyst. I don't think the season's over by any stretch. I mean, this is a garbage game. It's a kick in the groin, and we deserved all 3 points. Everybody's escaping. We're going to end up getting this. This is going to be the game. 4 losses in the row. It's not the end of times. We've still got lots of time in the season. But what a garbage outcome, and stolen 1 point, at least from the referee, with that atrocious penalty call. But we shouldn't be in this position. We should be up 3-1. We should be up 3-1. Waiting for the whistle to blow. It's about to go. No, we're going to get a chance moving forward. I thought that the whistle was going to blow, but he's given more than 30 seconds as they wait for it to go out. It's gone out. We're going to get a throw. Ball boy gets it in quickly. Tozer running for it. Quickly. Tozer's got it. Everybody forward. Oh, Arthur, where are you? Let's go get Arthur's first ever. Long throw, heave in, headed up over top, and that's going to be it. Has to be it. I'm with you. This was the best. Like watching them come through the floor. This was maybe we just haven't done it enough that the guys up front were used to the service and the opportunity. Looking at the bright side of life. Ah. And we get to go back again on Tuesday. I mean, this was a beautiful game to watch. As far as our opportunities went, and how threatening we were, and our ability to move through the floor, pushing the ball forward, it was all there. We defended relatively well. They only scored because of ripping away at Lee and being able to draw him back. And of course, it's got to be the guy that Brendan can't stand who ends up getting the benefit of it. Ogarnkwo performed, made a hell of a save. We missed out. We missed out on too many opportunities. Lee had that header in the box. That one will bite us in the butt. Mullen skied one over, missed up on some simple touches. Mullen frustrated because he went down so early, and it's the first time where I've seen it where you could see the potential lack of pace on TV, because there were a couple of times, especially that throw in the second half over on the right-hand side, where even from the throw, it got deflected and you knew he wasn't going to be able to get out there and get to it. And so what does he do is he just takes the easy flop. I think last year Mullen would have got there. So, it is what it is. I don't know. Do we bring up flops? And that's, Dave, you're exactly right. And there's something to be said for that as well. I mean, the balance of the game changed slightly. We were still dominating, but they were able to get their chances once they made the changes for O'Dour and Young to come in, and we made the changes for Fletcher to go out for Dalby. Mind-blowing. And Bolton came in for Barnett when Barnett was running, and that's not a slight on Bolton. I don't like, he's new. It's his second game. He looked relatively okay. He had a bad cross today, and he had a header that was questionable. Yeah, that's exactly the news alert that makes sense. Well, you ask too much from me. I mean, I thought EOC had himself a game, and I'll give you that much. But we're okay. We're okay. I don't think we're falling out. We've got 2 games in hand. The team played well. If this was like the Walsall game and like the Salford game and a continuation of absolute shit, I'd be with you. But that's not the case. I mean, unfortunately, we got to listen to Bradford, who's now beaten us twice, once on penalties, once in regular time. They drew us at home, yada, yada, yada. They didn't look good. They're the 18th place team who's now moving up. Congratulations and kudos to you. You look like garbage for the entire game. But they stole their 3 points, and they did it on the backs of our inability to finish. Parky mismanaging. Let's call it what it is. Parky's a better manager than me. In Parky we trust. I have no problem putting my faith in him moving forward. He is a good manager, but today he got beat. And that's the first time I can say that he got beat by the opposing team's manager. Tell me I'm wrong. Let's look at bringing a poll in. If I've got to go back to here though, because I shut it down to save things, but I do want to know what what the vote is. I've expressed my opinion. I see some of them there. So let's see. Man of the match, Lee, or can we give it to Barnett, even though he got pulled off in the 70th minute? Your thoughts are there. Hold on, come on, computer. Let's. We've got the votes there for stay in the course, so let's close the poll, the previous poll. I'm not subscribed because I'm on my wrong account. Awesome. We'll get that poll up in a second. Just bear with me here. Totally bad player decisions. Yeah, at least during the game, I didn't have a problem at the start. And that was a big kick in the gonads. Ogarnkwo for man of the match. I could say that if we ended up taking a point, but I can't give. Even though he played great, I can't give it. I'll put the poll up eventually, but I do want to add one before we get there. But largely it's going to be what ailed us today. What ailed us today? Outplayed by Bradford. Always an option. Unlucky in connecting plays. Our players, Wrexham, let us down. This has to be collective. Or Parky stuffed this one. You get to have your say on that one. That's actually... I think all of them, those are. I think it might be a combination of a couple, but you guys can say which one you guys think is more likely than not. And then what we'll do is we'll bring in the man of the match, and I'll wrap this one up. Looking to potentially do. I don't even want to look at the table because I'm just going to get angry. The lucky shirt brings no luck. We're on the road. We're on for the women's match tomorrow as they wrap up the first half of the first part of the season against Cardiff Met. Join us for that one. What will be interesting is more watching the out-of-town scoreboard for that as Aberystwyth and TNS decide who moves up and who moves down. Other than that match, we're back on Tuesday. I don't know if there's any other games on Tuesday other than us. Let's go to the League 2 schedule and see what we've got. We're back away looking for to cure what ails us. Oh, it's just regular match day 33. All right. I thought that was a makeup game, but it is not. Everybody's going to go. And so we've got Sutton on the road for match day 33. That'll be an interesting one because given what we had today, I would expect much of the same in the sense that Sutton parks the bus and they have some exceptional center backs, but nothing else. And so we'll see where it goes. Goal scorers just didn't finish. Yeah, I can see that. 5th in the table, 2 games in hand, one win puts us back in 3rd. We're going to make us work. That's what this slump has done. I just want to see us get out of the slump. Let's be real here. This performance was something I can take away from and at least have some confidence that we're in the right direction. We played well today, my opinion. We didn't finish well today, luck or otherwise. And I think Parky got outcoached during the game. Do I think that Parky's a better coach, better manager? Yes. But he got out-coached today during the game, and that's the first time that I can say that. Let's bring up Jello's message is, yes, better to have a mid-season slump than an end-of-season slump. A little bit unfortunate that it's going into our most active stretch of the season where we're playing every Tuesday, Saturday for another 3 weeks. But if playing cures what ails you, we're going to be at it. Usually what they say is when you're streaking, you want to keep on playing. When you're slumping, you just don't want to see the calendar turn over and have to get back out there again because it just feels like it's a never-ending nightmare. I hope we're wrong. I will bring up a vote for man of the match. Ogonkwo, Lee, and Barnett will be my 3 nominees. I can't think of anybody else to put into the box. Catalyst is going to be at the game. Feel free to send a picture or 2 our way. But yes, that's the summary from Mumblings is good game, bad result. And what do you do? What do you do? So we've got the votes there. I'll end that poll really quick just so that we can get to the man of the match, if I can do that. Parky stuffed that one, getting the vote. And so anybody else with a selection for man of the match other than Ogonkwo, unlucky in connecting plays, and Parky stuffed it. 11% saying outplayed by Bradford. That's fascinating because I can't even see a Bradford fan making that argument. But and our players let us down. Certainly a potential there in consideration. So man of the match. Harrison sneaking in to have a chat with everything. You EOC hater, you. Hey, I just don't think that he should be in the center of the pitch. But he did have a good game, a solid game today on the left-hand side. I'm going to have to be fair. I even was going to blame him for that goal, but really that goal was, the penalty that led to the goal. But that was McLean losing that battle on the right-hand side, not O'Connell. So man of the match, I guess some people wanted Okonkwo, not my vote, but I've been wrong before. Barnett, who I thought should have deserved it and shouldn't have got taken off. I thought he was the best player out there. And the other nominee was Lee, who, according to FOTMob, is the first one. Well, I don't know if it was shocking as much as it was just he thought he could go down the middle of the pitch, and Okonkwo is a tall mother and was able to stop it. I mean, it had pace. You see people go down the middle quite frequently. And when you got a big guy who's young, he's probably taking advantage of what he anticipates is going to be youthful exuberance to go one side or the other. It's just Okonkwo made an amazing save and was able to peg his feet into the ground to be able to keep that one out. What was more shocking was Lee not getting a penalty call when he was absolutely mauled on that play. Surprised that Okonkwo's getting the love. Absolutely shocked. But hey, that's why we have the vote, and everybody can say their man of the match. For me, it's got to be Barnett. He stirred the drink. Yeah, I could see Youngie, when he came in, to be fair, he's had a history with us when he was with Swindon of carving us up, and it was the only time that Bradford looked like it had anything. But Bradford played like garbage and got a benefit from an inability to close by Wrexham fans and a failure of the referee to call an obvious penalty on Lee that led to Cook getting free for the goal. Dale, what ailed us today? I thought I'd gone. We should have finished better. Absolutely, Lee missed that header. Mullen pumped one over top. We sniffed around the goal forever, and you can give that a credit to the Chickens' defense. But when you're under pressure for that long, the dam has to break, or you have to ask the question. So we didn't finish in the third. Parkey used to coach Bradford, but so no clinical finish. Parkey screwed up with the subs and was outcoached by the Bradford coach. The Bradford coach recognized that he wasn't getting any action up forward with Cookie. So what does he do? He brings in Young. He brings in Odur, the young guy, and they are threatening all of a sudden. And we didn't, instead, what does Parkey do? He takes off our best player for the game. Barnett was having the best game at the time that he was taken away. Was it the same ref? It couldn't be. They would really put the same ref in back-to-back matches? That's a question for the league that I would be curious to see what they say. How do you put the same referee in back-to-back match? Like, you only play twice. Mix it up. I can understand if it's a playoff game in hockey where you play two games, in short corner, and you have to have the refs go in and they'll do both games. But there's enough selection, Jesus, to be able to mix that up, no? So anyway, Barnett coming off, that was a mistake. Dalby coming in, to me, that was a mistake for Fletcher. Fletcher was doing fine. I get that you're maybe preserving him for health reasons, but if you are, bring Marriott in. Why is Dalby getting the shot? Because now you've got, when Marriott did come in, it was largely too late. But yeah, it should have been over in the first half. Bradford had 19 fouls. You say 3 reds. I'm going to assume that was yellow, but and there was that clear red too on George Evans when he got utterly cleared out in the back. There were oranges, but that one was 19 fouls to 5. But they were deserved. But he missed the clear 2 penalties. He missed the 2 clear penalties. Yeah, reported on their podcast that week. Then that's absolutely shocking to me that happened. Well, they were more aggressive in the tackles, right? And there were a couple that I mean the only the studs being up, that was blown down twice for dangerous plays, but nothing came of it because it didn't make contact. There was the tackles in the back, the clearing out of George, and then the subsequent other clearing out that got a yellow. So 2 yellow cards come out instead of 1 red and 1 yellow. I hope this isn't the start of end of season club. No. I think this is the start of turning things around. We played freaking well. Anybody who argues that point, Bradford City or otherwise, didn't watch the game. Like, we dominated the game. We played through the midfield for the first time in freaking forever, since the game after the Swindon 5-0 bottling back in November, late October. We did everything right, but we didn't score. Walker made a couple of saves. Lee had a shocking miss. Mullen had a shocking miss. We were there and we sniffed around all over the place. We just didn't finish. And so you got to look to Marriott. You got to look to Mullen. You got to look to Palmer coming back in. I don't want that lineup against FGR to end up having Dalby on the roster. I'll go full stop. Mullen can take a break. I still think that he comes in, but I think maybe, do you go Marriott and Fletcher and give them a run? Do you go Palmer and bring him back in? But you've got to stir the drink up front, because even though they played well and had their chances and the effort was there, we're just not getting the connection. So I wouldn't be surprised if a Parky changeover shift up front. Look, that's going to have to be it for me. Tomorrow, Wrexham takes on Cardiff Met in a game that is just really for points to bolster things going forward into the second part of the season, when they try to chase down Swansea and maybe Cardiff City. The real battle will be on the out-of-town scoreboard tomorrow, TNS and Aberystwyth. We're back here on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to take the afternoon off to be able to pull this one off. Parkinson should stir it up, but it's just going to be frustrating. This would be a perfect game to be able to quarterback this one afterwards. And that's another reason to do the fan reaction. Is it'd be nice to have a fan forum to sit and chat with a whole bunch of people coming in. And I'm sure that we will do that in time. Before you leave, subscribe button if you enjoyed it, like button if you enjoyed it. Remember to tell people as you're going through, if you ever hear of Wrexhamites, that there's a watch party out there and this is where it is. And we will see you. Thanks so much. I've got to go and chase down Munchkins and get my wife out to a bachelorette. And tomorrow morning, Brendan, we'll chat. It could be needing you in reserve just to cover, because if they wake up, and sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If they wake up, they're going to have to be fed and watered. And I think I know I'm here by myself. So I can't stuff them in a cardboard box without Children's Services probably making a phone call. So we'll leave it at that. Hopefully this does rattle some cages. Yes, Jello, absolutely sure, true. It is going to sour the fans even more, but we played good. And that's absolutely, I am curious to hear Parky's comments. Is this the first time that to me, it's the first time that Parky got outcoached, obviously, and wasn't able to pull himself out. That was a mistake. So good stuff. Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been a blast as always. Love the community. Had a good time doing it. Frustrated with the outcome and livid as a consequence of us not scoring and a referee not helping. But we lined it up for that result, and Bradford, credit to him, took it. It is what it is. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, have a good one.